Bank and Trust is local. Visit pioneerbankandtrust.com. So Rapid City Stevens improves to 8-1 on the season as they defeat Sioux Falls Jefferson this afternoon by a score of 59-40. For Sioux Falls Jefferson, they dropped to 2-5 on the season. You know, Dean, it was kind of close. I mean, at halftime, the Raiders with just a 3-point lead, but they break it open in the third quarter, outscoring the Cavaliers 20-10. And that pretty much told the story the rest of the way for the Raiders.
Yeah, they did what the Raiders do all the time. Their game plan, night in and night out. Devastating defense, hit your shots, force turnovers, put lots of pressure, crash the boards. I think I've actually said this before. If you're looking on what to do to get a program to play what they should or how well they should play, this Raider program, this Raider girls program, is kind of what you're looking for. How they can fundamentally play defense. They're very quick, so they use their talent and they use it to the best of their ability. They're quick. They work really hard. They're very intelligent. They shoot the ball really well. They do all of the necessary things that you need for a very competitive, very high-level basketball team. They do that all well, and they do it night in and night out. So obviously, you're going to have nights where maybe you don't, nights or days rather, where you're not going to shoot the ball as well as you would like to, and that's just kind of part of shooting, as it is. But they're carried along night in and night out by smothering, intelligent defense and quickness, and rebounds is smarts. So knowing how and where to be in the position to be able to read the ball off the hoop, and then just determination, saying, I want that ball. I'm going to put my body in the best position to seal off my defender, and I'm going to get after the ball. And they do that so well night in and night out that the only way another team can beat them is to kind of take what they do and match that and then hope for a poor night of shooting by the Raiders. So the Raiders get the win 59-40 over Sioux Falls Jefferson. With that win, the Raiders improved to 8-1 on the season. Let's take a look at today's box score being brought to you by The Box. The Box is the Midwest's most innovative event center featuring the best courts and space to host multiple games. The Box is really the premier youth sports venue in the area. But sports aren't the only thing they can host. The Box can cater and host any of your meetings, conventions, or receptions. To plan your next event, visit thebox.live. For Sioux Falls Jefferson, they were led by Brinley Altenberg. She finishes with 11 points, just 5 in the second half. We had 10 points for Macy Bryant off the bench this afternoon. Also 5 points for Taylor Silvernail, 4 points for Abby Horner, 3 points for Bree Umbriet, and then 2 points each for Lydia Johnson, Addison Warnke, and I'll let you say, oh, come on now,
Flores Delgado.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, you got it. Got it, man.
2 points for her, proud. And then 1 point for Peyton Krall this afternoon. For the Raiders, it was Talia Porter leading the way with 15 points, so close to a double-double. She had 15 points and 8 rebounds, even though it really felt like she had more than 8 rebounds. But 15 and 8 were the final stat line for Talia Porter. 13 points for Finley Love, a nice game for her this afternoon. 9 points for Haley Falcon, all 3-pointers. 5 points for Hayden Thornton, all coming in the first quarter. 4 points for Hallie Peterson, 3 for Mackenzie Schreiber, 2 each for Brittany Jones and Marley Sayumanutafa. And I think I've got everyone covered there. I think 6 points for Jessica Griswold, in case I missed that.
So, yeah, Miss Griswold.
For the Jefferson Cavaliers, they shot 37%. Total field goal percentage, 21% from downtown. For the Raiders, they shot 26% from three-point range and 36% for the game. 20 turnovers for the Cavaliers compared to 10 for the Raiders. And then the rebound edge, though, belonged to Sioux Falls Jefferson. It was close. They had 33 total rebounds, 6 on the offensive glass. For the Raiders, they had 30. but 13 on the offensive glass.
Yeah, those two numbers that obviously stand out right away. Forcing 20 turnovers and getting... Let's forget about the shooting percentage. It is forcing those turnovers and pounding the glass. You do that night in and night out. Depends on how well you shoot. They obviously, that's a low number for them as far as going from downtown, 26%. They usually shoot over 30, or they have nights where they shoot 30 to 40% from downtown. They just shoot that good, and you think about it, but night in and night out, they play those other areas so good that that's what really makes the Raiders so good. Everybody sees it. Everybody sees the glitz and the glamour and the shooting, and everyone loves it. But it's just that tenacious defense and then the crashing the boards.
So the Raiders win 59-40 over Sioux Falls Jefferson. Let's take a look now here in our post-game show at the Highmark highlight of the game, being brought to you by Highmark Credit Union. Highmark offers Spirit debit cards featuring our local high school mascots on the front. And then every time you use the card, Highmark makes a donation back to that school. Show your school spirit and open an account at Highmark. Visit highmarkfcu.com. This is our Highmark highlight of the game. Down to 15 seconds now. The shot clock is off. Here's the Raiders with the basketball. Porter to Jones. Jones bounce pass to Griswold. Griswold over to Porter. A long three-pointer. That one is short. Griswold there with the rebound, and she puts it in before the buzzer. Griswold gets the offensive rebound and puts it in for her first basket.
That's my player to watch right there. Griswold, again, she's a great part of this program.
So, again, that's our Highmark highlight of the game. The buzzer-beating basket there by Jessa Griswold. And that's our Highmark highlight of the game. Visit highmarkfcu.com. Lastly, here in the Pioneer Bank and Trust post-game show, we will give our player of the game. So, Dean, we'll turn to you.
Well, I said earlier we're going to have a lot of people to kind of try to pick and choose from. Porter had her usual, great night and kind of what she did. And Griswold, I thought, did a really great job tonight. But Finley Love, the one thing that's, I think, a little bit different from Finley Love's game this year as it is in the years past is she's finally developing that offense. She's already got tenacious defense. She works as hard as anybody on the court, and she would drive the lane, shoot the three. But I think she's doing more connecting with that, being able to finish, being able to work hard and convert all that hard work into points now, and her points are starting to show. And it's the welcome sight for the Raiders to really add to that, making them an even better team. So Finley Love, 13 points, 4 rebounds. She didn't have any steals, but she's just amazing defensively and works so hard that, night in and night out, she can get some steals. But it wasn't tonight, but it was still just her effectiveness I think, made her stand out tonight.
So Finley Love, our player of the game, as the Raiders get the win by 19 over Sioux Falls Jefferson by a final score of 59-40. That's going to wrap up our Pioneer Bank and Trust post-game show. We're going to switch gears now. We will pause for 30 seconds. We're going to come back, and we'll get you set for the boys' game coming up next when we return in 30 seconds on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City, and also on GoRaidersLive.com.
This is big.
Center.
And welcome back to Carroll Higher Gymnasium and Game 2 of our doubleheader this afternoon. We're minutes away from the tip-off tonight, or this afternoon, rather, between the Rapid City Stevens Raiders and the Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavaliers in boys basketball action. Rapid City Stevens comes in with a record this afternoon of 3 wins and 5 losses, while Sioux Falls Jefferson, riding a 4-game losing streak, they are 2-4 on the season. Again, thanks for joining us this Saturday afternoon with Dean Gurr. I'm Jerome Wickersham. Welcome to the J&J Truck and Auto Body pregame show presented by J&J Truck and Auto Body. For the highest quality work and hassle-free customer service, let J&J take the stress away and get your vehicle back on the road. That's J&J Truck and Auto Body on East Philadelphia Street in Rapid City. So we begin with the Raiders. They're playing their third game this week. Stevens defeated Douglas on Tuesday night to give head coach Chris Stabner his 120th win. And so congratulations to Coach Stabner on that milestone. But yesterday they fell behind early to Sioux Falls Roosevelt and never recovered as they lose to the Rough Riders. They pulled within 6 points in that fourth quarter, but that's as close as they would get. Minka Hawley led the way with 18 points for the Raiders, followed by Caleb Brooks with 12. But, Dean, what has to be the Raiders' mindset coming into this afternoon?
Well, I don't know what's going on with the Raider program, Raiders boys program right now. J.D. Green, I don't even see him out there. He did not play last night. Taylor Segrist did not play in the Douglas game. He didn't start last night. He did finally come in, but he had very minimal impact in that game, and they need him to be a solid player for this Raider team night in and night out. So maybe there's something going on internally. I don't know. I'm not in that locker room. I'm not at the practice. I don't know what's going on. But right now, judging by the athleticism of this Raider team, they're really kind of underachieving right now. They're taking players who have some potential, but they're still hanging in the potential area and need to be able to start exerting themselves in that varsity level type role, and they're just not getting it. Minka Hawley in general has kind of carried this team. Caleb Brooks has had some great nights. He looks fantastic at nights, and at nights he doesn't look all that great. And everyone's going to have a good or bad game, but right now it's Minka Hawley, mostly Caleb Brooks, sometimes Taylor Segrist, and then a little bit of contribution in other places. And they need a complete team get-together. Like I said last night when I talked to Coach Stabner last weekend, hey, we need to be able to knock down some shots. And that happened last night. You talked about being in that hole that they started out in, could never recover. There are just so many issues that they ran into last night. Every time that the Raiders would make a run, Roosevelt would answer. Roosevelt is really athletic. They had size. They had athleticism, and they used it tonight to the best of their ability, and the Raiders just did not have an answer for it.
And then, of course, for the for the Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavaliers, they're 2-4. They've lost four straight, so they want to get out of their slump. But let's jump into our keys to the game as we're moments away from the tip-off. Today's keys to the game brought to you by Dakota Discount RV. You can find the key to building lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. Take a look at their great selection of RVs at 2 locations. Dakota Discount RV. You can find them across from Cabela's on JB Road in Blackhawk and DakotaDiscountRV.com. So, Dean, what will it come down to?
Well, let's talk about the visiting Cavaliers. They need their playmakers. They got a lot of athletes, but they really need their playmakers to kind of really step up, knock down some more shots tonight. I thought Coach Hay did a phenomenal coaching job last night for the Cobblers in taking Mason Payne out of the game, and Damaris Fields was almost non-existent last night. Those are 2 big players that have big impact that were not a factor last night for the Cavaliers. They need to get them into the game, knock down shots, put lots of pressure, crash the boards, kind of fundamentals. For the Raiders, shooting, their shooting is so anemic and so manic, and then just turning the ball over is just kind of crazy. They really need to kind of get there, work harder on the board, especially around the rim, getting those offensive opportunities or negating the offensive rebounds by the other team. So the work inside the paint and around, and they need Segrist to show up. They need him to have a big impact on this game tonight.
That's our keys to the game, brought to you by Dakota Discount RV. Now looking at today's players to watch, powered by the E3 Sports Complex. E3 is Rapid City's newest indoor sports facility, featuring 4 full courts for basketball and volleyball, Have your athlete unlock their full potential with expert training and coaching from the E3 trainers and coaches. Learn more and get your athlete started by visiting e3sports.org. Check out the E3 Sports Complex on East North Street in Rapid City. So, Dean, who do we focus on this afternoon?
Well, I said this last night for the Cavaliers. I talk about Mason Payne tonight. All-stater at the state tournament last, or all-tournament team, rather, he was. And he is a force down low, and you have to be able to take care of him. He can just take over a game, and he can own that paint when he needs to. Cowboys did a great job against him last night. For the Raiders, it's got to be Taylor Segrist. Mika Hawley does his stuff inside night in and night out. Brooks makes great contributions in what he does. But really, the winning and losing, aside from just shooting in general, might come down to Segrist's offensive performance, his offensive output, what they need from him. And he needs to step up tonight big time.
Taylor Segrist with 8 points in yesterday's loss to Sioux Falls Roosevelt. Let's look at today's starting lineups built by Connect Home Center and Ace Hardware. Whether it's residential or commercial, Connect Home Center has been your hometown lumber yard since 1928. And Ace Hardware. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks. A little bit different lineup for both of these teams tonight. First for the visiting Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavaliers. At a guard, ace 5'7" junior, number 2, Damaris Fields. Also at a guard, number 14, Ethan Swinson, a 6-foot senior. At a guard forward, a 6'4" sophomore, number 23, Colby Nutbrock. At forward, a 6'6" senior, number 15, Mason Payne. And at a guard, a 6-foot junior, number 4, Kawhi Mayen.
He's stepping in for Quick tonight. I'm just kind of curious. Quick's in uniform and everything, just kind of curious.
And head coach for the Cavaliers is Tim Reck. For Rapid City Stevens, different lineup for them as well. They go with number 2, Minka Hawley, a 6'4" senior guard. Number 11, Taylor Segrist, a 6'3" senior guard. Number 20, Caleb Brooks. He stands 6'2" and a senior forward. Number 25, Dylan Zamonsky, a 6'4" senior center. And then also getting the start, number 33, Jess Christensen, a 6'4" senior forward center.
Jess has worked really hard to get himself in that starting lineup. He's a big factor. He can be.
And that's a look at our starting lineups. The Raiders, they win the tip. Minka Hawley drives, loses the ball, but it's knocked out of bounds by Sioux Falls Jefferson. The Raiders in their blue uniforms with white numbers going from left to right. The Cavaliers in their visiting white uniforms. Brooks top of the key, into the left corner, Zamonsky out to Segrist. Segrist on the wing, directing traffic, gets around the screen to the right side, gets it to Zamonsky. He drives the baseline, pump fake spins, in some trouble, tries to get it to Brooks, but he throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, I thought he should have went up. Brooks kind of looks at him like, well, what are you doing throwing that to me? And then when you were near me, and I don't know if Brooks is supposed to do something because Coach Stabner's not happy with somebody.
Let's meet our officials for this ball game. The law on the court brought to you by the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Division of Consumer Protection. Today's officials are Chris Long, Joe Beeler, and Shane Gottlieb. There's Fields at the other end. His 3 is no good. Raiders come away with it. And the head coach for the Raiders, Chris Stabner, in his 10th season, picking up his 120th win this past Tuesday night.
And I believe that's number 1 all time, is it not?
I think it is.
I think that's what they said over Lyle Pagel, who played with a kid named Piatowski.
Eric Piatowski, yeah. I think people may have heard that name.
You might have heard it once or twice. There were some other great players on those teams. That's my graduating year. I know that shows my age.
Cipher was on that.
Stone Cipher was on there. Mike Green was on there.
Here's a steal by Sioux Falls Jefferson going from right to left. Swinson in the front court. Swinson left side to Fields. Now out front. Swinson's going to shoot the 3. That one off the mark. No good as it rolls around the rim. Zamonsky the rebound. Outlet pass to Segrist to Hawley in the front court. And Hawley, there was a collision there.
Run over by his own player.
As Zamonsky runs into Hawley and knocks the ball out of his hands.
That's kind of the epitome of how the Raiders' season is going right now. They can't get out of their own way.
The ball goes out of bounds. It's going to stay Raider basketball on the right sideline. They get the ball into Segrist. Still scoreless with 1.5 minutes gone by here in this first quarter. Minka Hawley the basketball. Hawley to Christensen, top of the key. Back to Hawley on the right side. Hawley looking inside. Instead, he'll go to Brooks, reverse it to Christensen. Christensen down low to Zamonski. Zamonski backs in. Payne puts up the shot. It is no good. A battle for the rebound. Payne comes away with it. Payne with the outlet pass to Swinson. Swinson to Fields in that right corner. Back to Swinson. Swinson bounce pass to Nutbrock. Nutbrock on the left wing. Picks up his dribble. Bounce pass back to Swinson as he resets the offense. Swinson right side to Fields. Back to Swinson. Now they go to Mayan. Out to Swinson. Now into the post. They'll kick it out to Fields, and Fields shoots the three and knocks it down.
Again, the Cavaliers missed that last night. He only hit one of those, if I'm not mistaken.
He did. First points of this ball game, it belongs to the Cavaliers. They lead 3-0. There's a backdoor pass to Christensen. Christensen falling out of bounds, tries to get the ball to a teammate. Instead, Colby Nutbrock comes away with it, and then he gets fouled by Segrist.
I think Coach Davis got his hands on his hips, which he does a lot. But in that situation, you had two players. Christensen went in. You had Brooks right there. They kind of collided with each other out of bounds, and they tried to throw it on the inside. Segrist was right there, and got called for the foul. So just kind of comedy of errors at the moment.
Mayan out to Swinson, reverses it to Fields on the right wing. Now they go to Nutbrock in the right corner. Nutbrock passes out to Fields. Fields top the key. A 2-3 zone defense by the Raiders. Nutbrock shoots the three, and he cashes in.
And of course, he's one of that, what I call the trio, which they're talented all the way across, but he's one of those big scoring trios for them.
Nutbrock yesterday finished with 17 points for the Cavaliers. Here's Caleb Brooks as the Raiders trail by 6 with 4:40 remaining in the first. Minka Hawley, the basketball, shoots the three. This one hits the back of the iron, no good. Fields in a hurry gets into the front court. The Euro step, that one shot was contested by the Raiders, no good.
I think Minka Hawley got a piece of that. He's always on the backside. He's always in the air swatting stuff.
Zamonski to Segrist. Segrist spins to his right from that left elbow back to his left. Shot is up. It was a difficult shot. It goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Cavalier basketball. Seth Paugh checks in for the Raiders. Also, we have number 30, Bo Corner. Number 10, Landon Gross. And number 34, which I'll have to dig into the roster for that one. I don't see 34 from yesterday.
I don't see that one either.
We'll check on that one. Here's Gross, the basketball. Left side man into that left corner. And it's going to be an offensive foul.
Yeah, number 34, whoever that is. Big, long, tall kid out there. I think just a little extra pushing going on, and he displaced the defender. Coach Rex like, what?
We'll try to track down that number 34. And here's the dunk as Minka Hawley throws it down.
Throws an absolute poster jam over that number 34 kid right in his face. We'll see if it energizes the Raiders.
6-2, Sioux Falls Jefferson by 4. 3.5 minutes to play. There's the fadeaway jumper. It's good for Damaris Fields.
He's such a talented athlete.
It actually should be 8-4. They have the scoreboard wrong. It says 6-4. It should be 8-2, actually.
Going to say, now we're going to get another offensive foul. That one's going to go on Caleb Brooks. We'll see if they fix the scoreboard, but we've got to talk about Damaris Fields here for a second. He is the son of Andre Fields, the head coach of the Sioux Falls Storm. He's also their USD analyst for Midco as well. So is Mr. Andre Fields. So pretty good lineage. Fields obviously really good at the football area as well. Just an all-around great-looking athlete. Same stature. Pretty much on that ball. Tipped out of bounds. It'll stay Cavalier basketball.
And they get it fixed now, but here's a steal by Seth Paugh. And there's the layup at the other end for Paugh. It is 8-4 now, a 4-point Jefferson lead with 2:44 to go in the first. Damaris Fields in the front court, right side to Gross. Gross to 34. Again, we apologize. We don't have a 34 on our roster. He's on the right wing. There's the jumper. That one is short, no good. Zamonski the rebound for the Raiders. Outlet pass to Segrist. He'll push the ball to Hawley in the front court. Holly out front to Brooks. Brooks around the screen, gets to the elbow, now drives. Fadeaway jumper is good for Caleb Brooks.
And that's what they need. Much like the Cobblers last night, they need their scorers to step up and drive the lane and play through the contact and get some shots down.
It's a 2-point Jefferson lead now. There's a floater there by Fields.
That floated way up like a balloon.
No good as Segrist races into the front court. Taylor Segrist the basketball into the right corner, gets it to Zamonski. Zamonski out to Holly. Holly to Segrist, top of the key, reverses it left side to Pa. Man-to-man defense by Sioux Falls Jefferson. Pa right side to Holly. Holly on the wing looking inside. Instead, he'll get it to Zamonski. Down to 7 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Segrist who backs his way in. There's the shot by Segrist. No good. The rebound to the Cavaliers. Damaris Fields works his way into the front court as the Cavaliers lead by 2. They get it to Nutbrock. Nutbrock backs his way in, spins. Actually in some trouble, feeds it to 34. His shot is no good. The rebound is good. They'll get the basket +1 for Bo Corner.
Yeah, good defense on Nutbrock there. They didn't allow Nutbrock to reset himself and able to make another move. Back on this end of the court, Taylor Segrist, there's just, right now, offensively, the Raiders, they're just not in sync. They're pointing, you go here, you go there. Nobody's moving to go to any place, whatever offense they're trying to run. Segrist gets the ball. He's a great scorer, great shooter, but he's not a post-up type player, and so he just, around the rim is not his forte.
Again, 10-6, 4 points. Sioux Falls Jefferson lead with 60 seconds to play in the first quarter. There's the pass. The shot is up and good for number 21, Dalton Zamonski.
Great cut by Zamonski right in the middle, right in the teeth of that defense, and they found him.
Just a 2-point lead for Jefferson. Nutbrock the basketball to Swinson. Swinson on the wing. Feeds it into the post. Now they give it to Mayen. Mayen, the floater in the paint, no good. Brooks gets the rebound as the shot was short. We did get word from Matt Kearney. Number 34 is Easton Riley.
Easton Riley. I knew was waiting for you to make that comment here. Matt Kearney, our crack.
I knew he would come up. He would come up with it for me.
I would hum the Perry Mason song, but probably a lot of you don't even know who Perry Mason is, so never mind.
13 seconds now. Less than a second differential in the shot clock and the game clock. They'll give it to Pa, down to 5 seconds. Pa to Segrist from the corner, and a three. Good!
That's the play you need. Segrist getting an open shot, a look on the perimeter.
And on the State Farm scoreboard, the Raiders take the lead at the end of 1. On the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. Rapid City Stevens 11, Sioux Falls Jefferson 10 after 1 quarter of play. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. We'll come back to Carroll Hire Gymnasium right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City, and also on GoRaidersLive.com.
Used car. Hi, this is Nate Brown reminding you to join the Nate Brown Show live weekdays from 4 to 6 p.m. It's Rapid City's sports talk show and Rapid City's only call-in radio show with big-name guests from across the country to the local sports coverage you just can't get anywhere else. Join the conversation every weekday for thought-provoking sports talk. This is your show. Don't miss the Nate Brown Show from 4 to 6 p.m. on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. And stream us all the time at foxsportsrapidcity.com.
Carroll Hire Gym on this Saturday afternoon with Dean Gurr. I'm Jerome Wickersham as we welcome you back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth, sales, service, and recreation. We start getting set to start the second quarter with the Raiders leading Sioux Falls Jefferson 11-10. The Raiders are trying to avoid a sweep this weekend. In fact, both of these teams would like to avoid the sweep.
Yeah, right.
Quick has checked into the ball game. They go to Fields, now Quick along the left baseline. Trying to make a cross-court pass. Instead, Holly gets the steal. Holly in the paint, gets the layup at the other end to start the second quarter.
Boy, that shows you how valuable he is. They try to skip pass over there. Holly, it looks like he can guard from floor to ceiling, gets his arms up there.
Fields a high arcing three, and he knocks it down. He has 8 points in the ball game now. Tied at 13. Pa tries to drive. It's going to be a whistle against Sioux Falls Jefferson and Ethan Swinson. His first, team's first this quarter. 7:22 to go. Daylor Segrist will trigger it in. Segrist to Holly at midcourt. Holly, top of the key. Bounce pass goes to Segrist, but Fields gets the steal. Fields races to the other end. The shot is no good.
He's going to get the foul, too. He always tries to keep his distance, does Minka Holly going up. He wants to get that big block because he obviously can jump out of the gymnasium here, and he goes for that. The problem is he had no place to land. Field was very crafty, got underneath, was laying it on the ground, and I think Coach Staden's talking to Chris Long about it, but clearly you're out of your cylinder was Minka Holly, and he just landed right on him.
So the first free throw is good for Fields, who's having a much better game than he had yesterday against the Cavaliers.
Yeah, a game like this, kind of what we expected out of him, would have been a different outcome yesterday for the Cavaliers.
Fields has 10 of the Cavaliers' 15 points. Here's Dalton Zamonski to Brooks, backdoor pass to Christensen, puts up the shot, just lost the handle on it. Cavaliers come away with it. They'll give it to Swinson in that left corner, driving the baseline. And an offensive foul on Ethan Swinson as he knocks over Caleb Brooks.
That's not easy to do. You got Swinson, the quarterback, and Brooks, the linebacker.
That's the second on Swinson, second team foul this quarter for the Cavaliers. Swinson will exit, and we have Kawhi Mayen checking in for him. Seth Pa works into the front court. They go to Holly on the right wing, drives the baseline. He's cut off, and he steps out of bounds.
Yep, good job. Good secondary help by Kawhi Mayen coming over there, and I think Holly had his mind getting to the rim, got cut off, and didn't think about where his foot was at.
Steps on the line there. And a turnover for the Raiders. Mayen out to Fields. Over to Quick from the right elbow. The shot is up. That is no good. A battle for the loose ball. Payne gets it back. His shot is no good. It's tapped around, and Brooks comes away with it. Here's Brooks for the Raiders into the front court, top of the key. Hands the ball to Holly. Holly on the wing there, right in front of the Cavalier bench. They works the ball around. They go to Zamonski. Zamonski to Brooks, top of the key. Brooks left side to Zamonski. He's going to shoot the high arcing three. That misses everything. Pa there, though, to clean it up. Does not reset the shot clock. We're down to 10 seconds now. Brooks backdoor pass, and there's the reverse. It's still good for Zamonski.
A nice try. I like the play there. Just couldn't get it to fall.
Fields into the right corner. Quick shoots the three. That one is off the mark. No good. It's tapped into the hands of Payne. Payne's shot is no good. A battle for the loose ball. Payne is double teamed.
Going to get a jump ball here. Nope, we're going to get a foul on Jess Christensen down there. And Payne is just so big and physical down there. Jess Christensen, tall and everything, but he's just not nearly as big in stature and is physical. And I know he's trying to match it, but you have to be more crafty than just trying to match physicality.
Quick from that left wing gets into the travel, and a travel on Quick.
Yeah, he got cut off, tried to split the double team, and took another hop.
5.5 minutes left in the second. It is a 2-point Jefferson lead, 15-13. The Raiders have only managed 2 points so far. That three by Segrist is no good. Nutbrock comes away with it. Triple teamed. Gets the bounce pass to Fields, ahead to Quick. Quick drives.
He's going to go to the
and it'll be a blocking foul on Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks was there, and I think that Quick tried to get around him. And I don't know if Brooks maybe leaned one way or another, because Quick is really good. He's got great body control to get around you, and he's long and lanky, so he can do that. So just trying to guard him with width as well as height, that makes it difficult.
Quick makes the first free throw. Caleb Brooks will exit as Minka Holly checks back in. Yesterday from the free throw line, Quick did not attempt a free throw. He makes 2 this afternoon for his first points in the ball game. He started yesterday, did not start today, but he gives the Cavaliers a 17-13 lead as we approach 5 minutes to go in the half. Here's Taylor Segrist on that left elbow. Sends it out to Holly. Holly, top of the key, picks up his dribble. Gets the ball to Pa. Pa around the screen. Left corner. Zamansky drives. Here's to his brother Dylan. That shot rolls in and out. No good. Mayen in the front court. And he will get the layup in transition at the other end. Kawhi Mayen, with his first basket, is now a 6-point lead. Holly, nowhere to throw it. And we're going to get a timeout by Coach Stabner, who gets his little piece of paper ready to grab it out of his pocket. He's going to come up with something here. It's like they ran that play early on in the last possession. They ran a split. The two players came together. One pops out, one drops down. You're thinking there's got to be something out of there somewhere. The Cavaliers just did a great job of covering it, so then they have to come back around, run back into another play, and they had that open Szymanski right in the middle of the paint. But as kind of been the problem with the whole season, the shots just aren't falling. They're just tapping around the rim. Again, 4:24 remaining on the State Farm scoreboard here in the second quarter with Sioux Falls Jefferson leading 19-13 over Rapid City Stevens. The Raiders so far have only managed 2 points in this second quarter. Another score with under 1 minute left in the second. Sioux Falls Roosevelt 32, Rapid City Central 25. So a battle taking place over there at Howard Nas Gym.
Yeah, I'm sure the Cobblers flying high. Hopefully don't have hangover from last night's great victory that they pulled off.
Seth Pa, the bounce pass, or you get a kick there as he tried to work it to Holly, but a kick by Damaris Fields. Taylor Segrist at midcourt will trigger it in. Segrist to Szymanski. Szymanski hands it to Segrist, out to Pa, top of the key. Bounce pass to Holly on the elbow. Minka Holly directing traffic. There's the backdoor pass. The shot is good for Szymanski.
Oh, absolutely great play. Segrist posts down low, comes across with the back screen, and Szymanski peels off and is wide open.
4-point Cavalier lead, 19-15 on the State Farm scoreboard. Into the left corner. The shot is up. It is in and out. No good for corner. Seth Pa gets the rebound. Pushes the Holly in the front court. Holly drives, and the layup good for Minka Holly.
Good job by Holly, right against corner, played through the contact, and used it to his advantage.
6 points for Holly in the lead, only 2 now for the Cavaliers. Into the right corner, Fields takes a step back, shoots the three, and nothing but net for Damaris Fields, his third three-pointer of the contest. 22-17, back to a 5-point lead for Sioux Falls Jefferson. 3:20 remaining in the second. Again, thanks for catching us on GoRaidersLive.com if you're watching on the stream. Szymanski to Segrist. Segrist almost lost it. Kawhi Mayen providing defense. And a travel there. Segrist just lost his balance.
Yeah, he did. He tried to drive in. He tried to spin, and while he was spinning, he picked up the ball and then fell to the ground. I think they just pulled the chair out from underneath him as he kind of hit the ground. The Cavaliers did a great job. It was a little curl by Minka Holly. It looked like he was wide open for about a fraction of a split of a second, and it got closed right now.
Mason Payne comes back into the ball game, replacing Quick. Here's Mayen, a three from the right corner, no good. Szymanski the rebound, outlet pass to Segrist. Segrist works his way into the front court as the Raiders trail by 5. Minka Holly the basketball. Holly turns, faces the basket, gets around the screen of Szymanski. Had him open for a moment, and here's Fields with a steal, but he steps out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a great, almost high-low play there. Got the screen. You've got Payne out at the top of the key. He did a great job helping, then Payne scoots down, and you have to get that ball delivered, expeditiously, and it just didn't happen.
Raiders with a chance to cut into this 5-point lead. Here's Dalton Szymanski. Left side, they go to Holly on the wing. Holly wants to drive the baseline, being guarded by Colby Nutbrock. Holly Sends it out to Zemanski. Zemanski drives.
Great
and a
drive.
nice drive there by Dalton Zemanski.
Right into the double team. Payne came over but didn't cut him off. And Dalton Zemanski finishes.
A 6'2 senior for the Raiders cuts the lead or brings the Raiders to within 3. 22-19 on the State Farm scoreboard. Colby Nutbrock, the basketball. Bounce pass to Payne in the right corner. Sends it out to Fields, but the ball is tapped. Fields chases it down, though. Had Minka Hawley right on his heels. They work it down low. Corner. Sends it to Fields. Fields puts up the shot. No good. Payne there. His shot is no good. It's a battle for the rebound. Zemanski comes away with it. And here it's to Hawley. And Hawley, with the fingertips, just puts it in for 2.
Yeah, he could feel Kwame in. That kid runs the floor well, and he was right on the heels, and Hawley felt it. Like, I'm just going to roll this one.
22-21, Jefferson by 1. 65 seconds to play. And I think Tim Reck wants a timeout.
Yeah, he wants to kind of set up here about a minute. Obviously, you want to kind of slow the momentum down of the Raiders. They've crashed the boards well here in the last few minutes, able to kind of draw closer.
1:06 to play here in the second quarter on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agent Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. 22-21, Sioux Falls Jefferson leading Rapid City Stevens. We will keep it here. It's just a short timeout. The Raiders come in 3-4 on the season, while Sioux Falls Jefferson, they are 2-4. They won their first 2 games of the year, and they have lost 4 in a row.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, and you kind of wonder, talking to one of the assistant coaches earlier on this afternoon during one of the sub-varsity games, he's like, yeah, we just, we kind of have higher expectations coming out here, and hopefully we can finish out our weekend better. You don't travel, 360 miles over here to lose 2 games, that's for sure.
Quick drives, gives the ball to Payne. Payne backs his way in on Zemanski, puts up the shot, gets his own rebound off the miss. A battle for the rebound, and they're going to get Mason Payne with the push from behind.
That was a good job by Zemanski. That's Payne's specialty right there, being able to work around the rim and get the ball in. He even got his own rebound for a second, but then obviously got the push from behind.
That's number 1 on Payne, 3rd team foul. We're down to 50 seconds here in the second quarter. A chance for the Raiders to take the lead. Hawley on the wing. The Segrist down low to Zemanski. Zemanski backs his way in. Baseline jumper is good for Zemanski.
Great job. Again, right through the double team. In fact, Quick was right there trying to deny it, and yet Zemanski finished hard.
The Raiders lead 23-22 with 25 seconds to go in the half. Shot clock is off as the Cavaliers appear to be holding for the final shot of this first half. Crossover dribble by Fields, out to Quick. Quick in the lane, puts up the shot. It is good for Quick.
He's just great ball movement.
Now left side, they get it to Pa. He'll shoot the 3 from the corner. It is no good. So a good first half of basketball here at Carroll Higher Gymnasium on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. Sioux Falls Jefferson with a 1-point lead here at halftime over Rapid City Stevens. 24-23 is your score. We'll step aside for 1 minute. The Consolidated Construction halftime show coming up next, right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
How do we solve our patients' hard-to-solve medical problems? Our doctors and specialists collaborate, sharing their vast knowledge and Mayo Clinic's unique expertise. It's this working together that helps solve our patients' hard-to-solve medical problems. Monument Health, proud member of the Mayo Clinic Care Network.
When you ask for Black Hills Surgical Hospital, you ask for someone who believes in hospitality. You ask for someone who treats everyone like a VIP and believes the absolute best shouldn't cost more and makes you feel comfortable, even when you are vulnerable. You ask for someone who cares about the little things as much as the big things. You ask for someone who treats you like you are loved, because you are. Black Hills Surgical Hospital. Ask for us by name.
And welcome to Carroll Tire Gymnasium as we welcome you to the Consolidated Construction Halftime Show, built by Consolidated Construction, right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. From start to finish, Consolidated pledges a quality experience every step of the way. When it comes to your next big vision and project, work with someone that was born in the Midwest and has ingrained their business into this community. That's Consolidated Construction at onecalltobuild.com. A good ball game here at halftime with Sioux Falls Jefferson leading Rapid City Stevens 24-23. The Raiders led at the end of one, 11-10, but it was Jefferson outscoring the Raiders by 2 in that second quarter to get that 1-point lead. But, Dean, overall, the Raiders, they've got contribution from 6 players. They have not got to the free throw line, though, yet. They are 0 for 0. But, again, not a great first half, but the Raiders are in this ball game as they try to get back into the win column and even their record at 500.
Well, it's kind of the epitome of the Raiders' boys' season so far. There were times in the first quarter they looked like they had no clue what they were doing out there. Just they're running each other over, knocking balls away from each other, and just nobody doing what they're supposed to. You can read it on Coach Stabner's face, and they look like they're going to get run over, absolutely. But then all of a sudden they start gelling together. Their athleticism takes over. Their coaching takes over, and all of a sudden they look like the team that played against Mitchell early on in the season. Someone who can compete at any level of ball. And so it's such an enigma of what's going on with this program. And I don't know if Coach Stabner has just decided this is time to make some changes. He's got some players getting more playing time than they did early on in the season, and so I don't know if I'll call it this because I don't know. He's still trying to figure things out to get everybody heading on the right direction because they have lost games that they probably should have won so far. Not to take any away from Roosevelt yesterday. I don't want to say that was like a shoe-in win by any means, but a team that I saw that they could have easily competed with. The Spearfish game they should have competed with. The other loss, I can't remember, earlier on this year, they should have competed and had an opportunity to beat Pierre. There's just all these teams in which they have just not played up to where they needed to at the time. And we saw it right in front of our eyes today. We saw the highs and the lows. We saw how well they do when they kind of take over and play as a team and all that stuff, all together. And then we saw them look like, sorry for lack of a better word, just look like a bunch of babbling buffoons out there for a minute. And you're like, what's going on? Is this varsity basketball? I don't know. So that's obviously the big challenge for Coach Stabner. And, what's he got to do to get these guys playing together for a full, complete game?
In here at halftime, 24-23, Jefferson leading Rapid City Stevens. Let's take a look at today's box score, being brought to you by The Box. The Box is the Midwest's most innovative event center, featuring the best courts and space to host multiple games. The Box is the premier youth sports venue, but sports aren't the only thing they can host. The Box can cater and host any of your meetings, conventions, or receptions. To plan your next event, visit thebox.live. Here at halftime for Sioux Falls Jefferson, they're led by Damaris Fields with 13 points. 4 points for Quick. We have 3 points for Colby Nutbrock, and then 2 each for Kawhi Mayen and also Bo Corner. For the Rapid City Stevens Raiders, they have 6 players in the scoring column, led by Minka Hawley with 8. 4 points each for Dylan Zamonsky and Dalton Zamonsky. And then 3 points for Daylor Segrist and 2 each for Caleb Brooks and also Seth Pa. When you look at the shooting percentages, Sioux Falls Jefferson shooting 32%. And from three-point range, they're shooting 44%. For Rapid City Stevens, they hit 10 of 20 for 50% in the first half for field goal percentage, but only 20%, 1 of 5 from long range. Turnovers in the first half, 5 for the Raiders, 2 for the Cavaliers. Very even on rebounding. 14 for Rapid City Stevens, led by Caleb Brooks with 4, and then 13 for Sioux Falls Jefferson.
Well, the one that stands out, there's 4 turnovers for the Cavaliers, but I think the number that stands out is for the Cavaliers that make the score could easily be bigger than what it is right now. They have 5 offensive rebounds, so only 1 for the Raiders. They just haven't been able to convert always with those offensive rebounds, and so this could easily be a 30-23 ball game right now. But the Raiders have at least done a fairly good job of when they get that second chance opportunity, they try to keep it as an opportunity instead of a conversion on that. So there is something there to it. I swear for the Raiders with 5 turnovers, that had to have been all in the first quarter early on in the game because they just did not look very well coming together at all. But they brought it together. They've used players. Players have stepped up. We still haven't seen much of Segrist so far. He hit that one big 3. Was it kind of right at the end of the quarter, I believe? That was a great thing. We need him to show up for the rest of the game and have another major impact.
Let's take a look at our coaching adjustments brought to you by Lee Cruz, your local New York Life agent in Rapid City. Lee is ready to help you and your family put a game plan together to secure your financial future. Don't wait. Take action today. And Google Lee Cruz, New York Life. So do you see some big changes here in the second half, Dean?
No, I don't see too big of changes. I think for the Cavaliers, we see the difference between tonight's game and last night's game is clearly Demarius Fields. He's of the 4 of 9 for the Cavaliers from downtown. He's 3 of 4 of those shots. So obviously that's probably the big one that we see right away. Again, Mason Payne not having much of a factor. He does have a little bit because he's banged a little bit down low, and it's made a little bit of an impact, but not nearly as much. So, for the Raiders, they need to make sure to keep him out, keep him off the glass, but they also need to be able to get a hand in Demarius Fields' face. I think they took a page out of Coach Hayes' game plan from yesterday as they're playing mostly zone. They only play partial zone for spare moments. Instead, they're playing mostly zone, making sure that Payne does not become a wrecking crew for this team, forcing the ball back to the perimeter. So I can see defensively them doing that. They have to be able to force ways to get Segrist the ball. He got that open shot at the end of the quarter because they did that down screen down there. He was just able to pop out. Segrist has got a great quick release. You got to keep him doing that. He does other work inside, and that's all well and good, but that's not his area of expertise. Him doing that and then popping out and then popping one off, that's what they need to do to kind of push them up to that next level.
And that's our coaching adjustments brought to you by Lee Cruz, your local New York Life agent in Rapid City. That'll wrap up our Consolidated Construction halftime show here at Carroll Higher Gymnasium as we get you set for the third quarter with Sioux Falls Jefferson leading Rapid City Stevens 24-23. Raiders going with Kalen Brooks, Taylor Segrist, Minka Hawley, Dylan Samansky, and then also Jess Christensen. Samansky, the basketball, gets it out to Brooks, now right side to Hawley as the Raiders go from right to left now. Here's Hawley. Over to Brooks. Brooks backdoor pass. And the layup for Samansky.
Just a great play that time by Hawley to keep it alive. They had him trapped in the corner. He manages to get the ball to Brooks, and Brooks finds Christensen cutting, or Samansky rather.
25-24. It's the Raiders by 1. A miss at the other end. The Raiders get the ball back. Kalen Brooks works his way into the front court. Left side. And we're going to get a foul. This will be, I think, on 25.
An illegal screen. Was it Segrist looked at him for a second?
Maybe it was Segrist.
Yeah. Yep. I didn't see the screen there for some reason, but the opening play, that shows you just the athleticism that these players can bring for the Raiders. I mean, Hawley was absolutely trapped, but yet he kept his vision, his eyes open.
Here's Fields the basketball. Zone defense by the Raiders. Bounce pass. Quick along the baseline. The jumper is no good. Brooks the rebound, pushes the ball to Holly in the front court. He tries to chase it down, but instead it's thrown a little too far, and it goes out of bounds.
I think he did a nice job. I think he protected one of the cheerleaders there.
Still 25-24, a one-point lead on the State Farm scoreboard. Payne kicks it outside to Swinson. Swinson to Quick in the low post. The shot no good. Battle for the rebound, and Payne able to get the offensive board and the putback for two.
There's the Payne impact right there. Sealing off, getting that second chance opportunity.
26-25, the Cavaliers by one. Here's Caleb Brooks, top of the key. Bounce pass to Holly on the elbow. Had the ball knocked out of his hands. Brooks picks it up. Brooks drives. Szymanski to Christensen. A little too hard, no good. A battle for the rebound. And it's going to be into the hands of Swinson, ahead to Quick. But that one thrown a little too far, and it goes out of bounds once again on this end.
And that's kind of the epitome of what Coach Stanger said. Christensen, it was a great ball movement, inside, outside, cross the key. Christensen had a point-blank shot and just overshot it.
Taylor Segrist works his way into the front court on this near side by the scorer's table. Gets to that left wing. Dribbles around the screen. They go right side to Holly. Holly out front. Szymanski gives the ball to Segrist. He'll shoot the three and knocks it down.
There he is.
You said he had to play a pivotal part in this second half, and he knocks down the three. It's a 2-point lead. Swinson out the other end, though, answers with his own three.
Well, they kind of fell asleep. He was wide open at the top of the lane, and nobody had a hand in his face.
The Cavaliers 29, the Raiders 28 on the State Farm scoreboard. Here's Minka Holly on the right wing, being guarded by Quick. Lost the ball. It goes out of bounds. It'll stay Raider basketball.
We could do puns all night long. Quick with his quick hands there. That time knocked the ball out of bounds.
Bo Corder checks in. He replaces Mason Payne. Taylor Segrist will trigger it in.
Payne quickly out of there. That's interesting.
Here's Szymanski.
Szymanski's able to kind of spin around against Corner there and kind of drew the foul, trying to get around the lane. I thought Segrist is kind of wide open there in the corner. I thought he might kick it back out to him.
Seth Paugh comes in. He replaces Dylan Szymanski. Here's Brooks in the paint. Pump fakes, puts up the shot as he hits the deck, and he's going to head to the charity stripe.
Good little head fake by Brooks there that time, and it's Nutbrock who he got, 23.
It is Colby Nutbrock with his first.
He was in there. He had great defense, but then Brooks leaned to one side and was able to draw the contact.
Brooks makes the free throw. He has 3 points in this contest.
And here comes Payne right back into it.
Payne comes in. He replaces Bo Corner.
I had to have a snack real quick or something.
5:29 to go in the third. We're tied at 29 apiece on the State Farm scoreboard. Here's the second free throw by Brooks. That one is good as well. 4 points now for Caleb Brooks. Had 12 yesterday in the loss to Sioux Falls Roosevelt.
We got a Szymanski for Szymanski exchange here.
Ethan Swinson works his way into the front court. Hands the ball to Fields. Fields. Now they work it to Payne in the low post. Back to Swinson. Swinson around the screen. Gets to the left elbow. They go to Nutbrock. He pump fakes, and he banks it in for two.
Good patience by Nutbrock and the defense. They actually kind of held their ground well. He was just able to float the ball over the top.
Sioux Falls Jefferson 31, Rapid City Stevens 30. As we approach 5 minutes left here in the third. Minka Holly crossover dribble, gets to the top of the key, gives it to Szymanski. Back to Brooks. Brooks gets to the elbow. Drives to his left. There's Brooks. The scoop shot is in for two. 4 points in the quarter, 6 overall for Caleb Brooks, and it's a 1 point Raider lead. There's the floater by Fields, and he puts it in for two.
That was a quick mismatch. You had Paugh on Fields. He recognized it, said, I'm going in and going for the floater.
15 points for Damaris Fields. Here's Segrist from the free throw line. The jumper, no good. Fields the rebound for Jefferson. Fields into the front court, slows it down. Left side, they work it over to Nutbrock. He'll shoot the three. That one off the mark, no good. Swinson tried to save it. Instead, he steps on the line. Kawhi Mahan checks into the game. Raiders with Taylor Segrist walks into the front court. Tight ball game here this afternoon in this boys contest. The Lady Raiders, they get their win this afternoon. Spinning is Brooks, bounce pass to Szymanski, and he puts it in for two. A nice game this afternoon for Dylan Szymanski.
Yeah, definitely, and it all was drawn in because everyone focused on Brooks there and forgot about Szymanski.
Payne backs his way in and puts it in for two.
Yeah, you knew that he could overpower Szymanski, although Szymanski's done a great job today, but just Payne is just an extra special post player.
35-34. Here's Holly for three. That one misses everything. They'll push the ball to Quick in the front court, but Segrist the steal for the Raiders.
I think Coach Rick wanted the arm that was knocked out of that one.
They'll get it to Brooks. Brooks in the paint. Left-handed shot, no good. Swinson, the rebound. Ahead to Mahan, and Mahan, the rebound the points, I should say, in transition at the other end.
I think Szymanski and Payne kind of got together. Szymanski kind of grabbed his mouth a little bit in that last possession, and we're going to get a timeout here by Coach Stabner.
So a full timeout for the Raiders on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. With 2:58 left in the third, it is 37-34, Sioux Falls Jefferson by 3. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. You're listening to high school basketball on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City, and also on GoRaidersLive.com.
Lucky for us, life is full of choices, big and small. They define us, make us who we are. And when it comes time for you to choose, a car, home, your next big adventure, or start a new business, Farmers Union Insurance has the variety of coverage options to protect each perfect moment. Farmers Union Insurance. Contact your local Farmers Union Insurance agent today.
Welcome you back to Carroll Higher Gymnasium on this Saturday afternoon as we welcome you back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth, Sales, Service, and Recreation. Like we mentioned, a tight ball game here this afternoon in our boys contest with Sioux Falls Jefferson leading Rapid City Stevens 37-34. It's Raider basketball coming out of that timeout. Just under 3 minutes to play here in quarter number 3. Segrist right side to Seth Pa. Pa on the wing, back to Segrist. He'll dribble to the right side against Fields. There's the pass to Holly. Trying to work it inside. They wanted to get it to Szymanski, but instead it's stolen by Jefferson. Cavalier basketball. Mahan, bounce pass to the left elbow. They go to Payne. He'll hand it off to Fields. He'll take a step back and shoot the three. That's no good. A battle for the rebound, and the Cavaliers keep it alive. Fields to Mahan. Mahan, fadeaway jumper, rolls around the rim, no good. Payne tried to put it in, and it was Mahan there with the putback.
That's just murderous, piling on the offensive rebounds. We pointed that out in the first half, how devastating that is. Now the Cavaliers are converting them.
Here's Caleb Brooks, cross-court pass to Holly. Holly to Szymanski. Szymanski drives. The reverse is good for Szymanski. 10 points in the contest now for Dylan.
Great. Him, I think Payne thought he was coming right at him, so he defended that side of the rim, but Szymanski did the up and under.
Underneath the basket, Fields feeds Payne, and he puts it in for 2. 6 points now for Mason Payne. Back to a 5-point lead, 41-36. Caleb Brooks, the basketball, on the left wing, down to a minute 25 here in the third. Segrist shoots the three, and nothing but net for Taylor Segrist.
Yeah, and with a hand in his face as well. Fields right there. He's athletic. He can get you right there, but Segrist said, no problem, I got you.
The lead 2-4, the Jefferson Cavaliers. Corner, right side to Fields. Now they go to Nutbrock, back to Fields, top of the key. 60 seconds to play in the third. Corner from the left wing, gives it back to Fields. Fields wants to drive, takes a step back, fires the three. That one off the mark, no good. The rebound to Szymanski. I think he was hit in the mouth.
I think that's the second time this quarter he was hit in the mouth.
They go to Holly on that right side across from the scorer's table. He'll hand the ball off to Pa. Pa, back to his right, drives. They go to Szymanski. He pump fakes, drives on Payne, puts up the shot. It's no good, but Dylan Szymanski heads to the free throw line.
Boy, is he stepping up big time for the Raiders today. He gets the ball in the corner. I think earlier on in the season, he would have been more comfortable dishing that off. Instead, Payne stepped out. He tried to make a move on him, a cut underneath, right in the middle of traffic, went up, almost converted the and one, and instead he's on the line.
This is the first free throw. Dalton Szymanski checks in as well. Here's the second free throw attempt to pull it within one. It is good.
And he's going to have a seat there. Welcome break. Coach Stabner gives him a 5 years, and nice job. He's really stepped up today.
11 points for Dylan Szymanski.
Well, and it's not even just that. It's his ability. He's been able to defend down low. He hasn't eliminated Payne by any means, but he's definitely taken his share of the pain trying to cover Payne.
Jefferson just trying to chew up the clock, maybe get the last second shot here of this third quarter, leading 41-40. Ethan Swinson the basketball, left side to Nutbrock. Nutbrock out to Quick. Quick drives in the paint, lost the ball off his knee, and the Raiders will have it.
Yeah, the ball got knocked away right off him. He tried to keep the dribble alive.
He tried to split the defenders, but just simply lost the basketball. The Raiders will have it. Here's Caleb Brooks. Gets the ball into Segrist. And Segrist can't hold on to it.
Absolutely lost it. A huge error by the Raiders. That's going to allow a quality-looking shot for Jefferson. Just when they had played great defense, they quickly give it away. Szymanski back in the game. Like, we got to play better defense on this one.
2.9 seconds remaining right in front of the Cavalier bench. Ethan Swinson will trigger it into the right corner. They get it back to Swinson for three. That shot is no good, and that is the way we end this third quarter. So on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick, after 3 quarters of play, it is Sioux Falls Jefferson 41, Rapid City Stevens 40. We'll come back in 1 minute with the start of the fourth quarter right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
It's time for Happy Honda Days at Danny Menno Rushmore Honda. Shop the area's best selection of pre-owned Hondas and Honda certified pre-owned. Get financing as low as 1.99% APR on certified pre-owned CRVs, HRVs, and other select models. 1.99. Plus, shop a lot full of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, imports and domestics with financing as low as 5.79% APR for up to 72 months. See us at Denny Menno Rushmore Honda or RushmoreHonda.com.
And welcome back to Carroll Hire Gymnasium, to the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail broadcast booth, sales, service, and recreation. We get set to start this fourth quarter with Dean Gurr. I'm Jerome Wickersham. Thanks for joining us on Fox Sports Rapid City. A 1-point Sioux Falls Jefferson lead, 41-40. It'll be Cavalier basketball. Swinson, across from the scorer's table, gets to the top of the key, hands the ball off to Nutbrock. Now they go left side to Quick. Down low to Payne. Payne being guarded by Szymanski. And he knocks over Szymanski, puts up the shot, no good, as Brooks gets the rebound.
Yeah, and so they're gonna call Szymanski for fake being fouled. Kind of the new thing they're talking about this year. I've had it a lot in my previous couple of games where you more and more these players are really trying to. They're not just taking a charge. It's happened on offense and defense, but they kind of fake that. Oh, this guy just destroyed me when they really don't. And I think in that situation, with the way Mason Payne, how physical it is, he turned around, he bumped him. It wasn't much after that. And now I don't know what they're gonna discuss, but what it is just a warning. It's really just a warning to where they give you warning. If you do it again, then it's going to be a technical foul. So interesting discussion they're going to have here.
Our three officials for this ball game: Chris Long, Joe Beeler, and Shane Gottlieb. It was Shane who called the
right, and so I think they're talking about how it's going to be delay a game on that. It's on the defense. When the defense has it, you delay the call. You don't interrupt the flow because you don't want to punish the offense for the defense doing something that they tried to stop in the first place. And so they have to wait. I don't know if the play was over with and he called it. I don't remember at the moment, but that's kind of what they were talking about there.
So like you said, just simply a warning. The Raiders get the basketball. Here's Brooks. Extended from the right elbow, left side. Segrist shoots the three and knocks it down.
Welcome, Taylor Segrist. We love you on the court. Please have more of an impact.
4 3-pointers for Taylor Segrist, and the Raiders lead by 2, 43-41. 7:12 to go on the State Farm scoreboard in this contest. Fields to the left elbow, drops back, now wants to drive on Holly, and Holly gets a piece of it. Those long arms of Minka Hawley.
Yeah, if you're going to drive on somebody, it's not going to be Minka Hawley. He's got great arms. He can play great defense.
Here's Brooks to Hawley, top of the key. He'll shoot the three. That one rolls around the rim, no good. Mason Payne the rebound. Swinson ahead to Nutbrock in the front court. He drives the Euro step and a travel on Colby Nutbrock.
Yeah, Segrist got down there, created some defense, created some contact out there, and Nutbrock tried to go around and picked up his dribble and got the travel.
Kalen Brooks works his way into the front court. Brooks, right side, they go to Minka Hawley. Again, a 2-point Raider lead, 6.5 minutes left in the fourth. There's a backdoor pass to Hawley. He pump fakes on Payne, puts up the shot, and it's good for Hawley.
Wow, good patience by Hawley right there. I don't know if Payne was right there, and Hawley could have gone sky high. Instead, he just waited.
Hawley with his first basket of the second half. He has 10 points overall. Payne against Samansky, backs his way in, spins to the baseline again, and banks it in for 2.
Yeah, they need secondary help. Coach Hay and the Cobblers did it last night. I think Coach Stabner right now is letting Samansky kind of feel it out, and I don't know if you should be doing that. This is kind of going to be the time where you're going to force that ball back to the outside, make them get another shot.
We have a 30-second timeout called on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. 6:07 remaining in the fourth. The Raiders with a 2-point lead. 45-43 is the score. Real quickly looking at other scores in Class AA boys basketball. Key Area loses by 18 to Western Christian Iowa, 61-43. In overtime, Sioux Falls, Washington defeats Pierre by 4, 77-73. With 5 minutes left in the fourth, Rapid City Central leads Sioux Falls Roosevelt 50-46.
Wow, nice.
And again, should have a final for you coming up at the end of our broadcast as well.
I'm going to have to start digging in and start watching that game here, see what's going on. I'll try to pay attention. I got 2 eyes. I'll watch one of each.
So the Raiders have the basketball coming out of the timeout, a chance to add to their 2-point lead. Here's Taylor Segrist, top of the key. Segrist bounce pass to Brooks on the wing. Down low, they get the ball to Hawley, and Hawley puts it in for 2. 12 points now for Hawley.
Not much defense. He just used his body really well around the rim and went up for a nice one.
Here's Christensen with the steal at the other end. Christensen to Segrist. He'll work his way into the front court. Segrist, cross from the scorer's table, gets to the top of the key. There's the backdoor pass to Christensen, and Christensen tried to put it in.
Yeah.
He hits the deck. I don't know if he tried to dunk it, but there was contact, and he heads to the free throw line.
There was. It was Payne, and he's not even going to contest it or anything.
That's number 3 on Mason Payne. First team foul this quarter for the Cavaliers. And Jess Christensen started this ball game. A chance to score for the first time tonight. He misses that free throw. I hate to say it, but he missed everything that time. Christensen taking a deep breath now. Here's the second free throw attempt. That one is no good. So the Raiders come up empty on that possession. They still lead by 4 with 5.5 minutes left. Left side, here's Nutbrock, the basketball. Bounce pass over to Fields. Now right corner, Mahan down low to Payne. Payne kicks it outside to Nutbrock. Heel back is next, so he picks up his dribble. They go to Quick. Quick drives the baseline, cut off by Brooks. Sends it out to Nutbrock. Colby Nutbrock, right side to Fields. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Into the left corner. Here's Quick for three, and it's good for Quick.
And you knew that happened. Once you start doubling him, they're going to rotate the ball. They're going to find the open guy on the perimeter.
47-46. The Raiders by one. Miscommunication there. Brooks tried to get the bounce pass to Holly, but he throws it out of bounds as Holly cut back to his right.
Yeah, and those happen, but that doesn't look anywhere near what it did at the opening part of this game. They've played so much better the remainder of this game. After that about the first half of the first quarter.
Here's Kawhi Mayen, the basketball. Out to Payne. Payne to Fields. Gets around the screen. Drives. There's the scoop shot. And high off the glass for Damaris Fields.
Yeah, the left-hand scoop, or I don't even know what the name of that shot is. But anyway, just the offhand outside. Nobody can block it.
17 points for Damaris Fields. It's back to a 1-point lead on a 5-0 run by Sioux Falls Jefferson. They lead 48-47. Reaching that midway point of this fourth quarter, here's Taylor Segrist. Segrist left side to Szymanski. Szymanski to Holly on the left wing. Holly from the left elbow puts up the shot, no good. Payne there for the rebound. Outlet pass to Fields. He'll work his way into the front court. Damaris Fields at midcourt being guarded by Holly. Hands the ball to Swinson. Bounce pass. Nutbrock now to Mayen. Back to Nutbrock. Out to Payne. He'll reverse it. They go to Swinson. Backdoor pass to Mayen. A quick turnaround jumper, no good. Brooks the rebound for the Raiders. Here comes Caleb Brooks in the front court. Slows it down. Brooks to Szymanski. Back to Brooks. They'll go left side to Dalton Szymanski. From the free throw line, the shot is up. That one off the mark, no good. The ball is loose. Players hit the deck.
They're going to travel on that one. Oh, we got a timeout.
We're going to get a 30-second timeout.
Yeah, same scenario they had in the girls' game. As Fields got it on his side, he kind of rolled back, but they're going to give Coach Reck the timeout.
So we have 3:14 to go in the fourth quarter on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. It's Sioux Falls Jefferson 48, Rapid City Stevens 47. We'll step aside for 30 seconds right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
Now that we're in the final quarter of the year, it's time to start thinking about the 2022 tax year. W-2s and 1099s are scheduled to be out in January, but don't worry, Jennifer Young's Bookkeeping Services has you covered. They stay on top of the ever-changing tax laws impacting small businesses and corporations. Jennifer Young's Bookkeeping has your best interests at heart. Don't wait until the last minute. Get a head start on your 2022 taxes. Call Jennifer Young or go to jenniferyoungsbookkeeping.com.
Welcome back to Carroll Hire Gymnasium. It's Saturday matinee basketball action right here on Fox Sports Rapid City as we welcome you to the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail broadcast booth, sales, service, and recreation. With Dean Gurr, I'm Jerome Wickersham. Again, thanks for spending part of your Saturday afternoon with us, and also for watching the stream on GoRaidersLive.com. Coming out of that timeout, 3:14 remaining in the fourth. The Raiders going with Taylor Segrist, Caleb Brooks, Minka Holly, Seth Pa, and also Dylan Szymanski. Ethan Swinson gets the ball to Payne. He'll back his way in, but a travel on Mason Payne.
Yeah, he kind of took off too quick there, trying to gain some position. The Raiders got into a man-to-man defense now. I'm curious as how that's going to play out.
Raiders with a chance to take the lead back or regain the lead. Here's Caleb Brooks being guarded by Mayen. Man-to-man defense by Sioux Falls Jefferson. Back to Brooks. Brooks to Segrist. Segrist wants to drive. Instead, he gives it to Pa. Plenty of time on the shot clock, 15 seconds. Pa right side to Holly. Holly to Brooks. Left side, they go to Pa. 8 seconds now. Out to Segrist, who puts up the three. That one is no good. He thought there was contact. Swinson ahead to Fields. He gets it out to Quick. Quick drives, puts up the shot, and in for two.
Just great body control, gets the hop, comes through, puts the defender on his back.
9 points for Quick.
Coach Stabner. Interesting that the Cavaliers kind of switched two guards too. They put Quick out there because he's longer and lankier against Hawley, who's got some of that similar stature, and then they put Fields on Segrist out there in their man-to-man defense.
So we have 2:15 remaining in the fourth quarter with Sioux Falls Jefferson leading Rapid City Stevens 50-47 over at Howard Nas Gymnasium with 2 minutes left in the fourth. It looks like Sioux Falls Roosevelt has a 5-point lead over Rapid City Central, 57-52.
Yeah, they kind of battled back, was tied. The Cobblers have missed a couple of easy shots there. Still just over a minute to go here. The Cobblers need a big play here by some of their big players, and not hitting that. You don't want to be going cold right at the end of a quarter of a big game that you need to win right now. And I think they're just throwing into some fouls now and see if they can kind of stretch this game out and hit some big shots.
So 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Earlier this afternoon, the Raider ladies picked up the win. We'll see if the boys can do the same.
We got a long way to go.
We do. I have a feeling this is going to take a while, the final 2 minutes.
Buckle up, folks.
Segrist against Fields, gets the ball to Szymanski. Now they go to Brooks, looking for that backdoor pass. Instead, Holly from the left corner. The three is good.
Big splash. Great play design. Everyone collapses. They forget about Holly, who sneaks over into the weak side corner and cashes it in.
Tied at 50 with 1:50 to go in this contest. Here's Quick in the paint. Puts up the jumper. The shot's no good. Payne the offensive rebound. Keeps it alive. They go to Swinson. Now to Quick. To Mayen in the right corner. Back to Quick. He'll dribble to the top of the key. He'll hand it off to Swinson. Plenty of time on the shot clock for Sioux Falls Jefferson as they try to take the lead. They go to Fields on the right wing. Fields bounce pass to Payne, being guarded by Szymanski. Here's Payne into the left corner. That's Mayen for three, and he answers at the other end.
Boy, the ice-cold shot by Mayen. The patience. And Segrist was thinking more of helping. He didn't help, but he also didn't get back into the corner.
65 seconds to play. It's 53-50. Here's Segrist, a three from the corner, and he gets the three.
He's been lightning tonight when they need it for a big three. Comes up with it. Coach Stabner said, I love what's going on right now. We need to answer.
5 3-pointers in this ball game for Daylor Segrist. Had only 8 points yesterday, but now 15 points this afternoon. And the Raiders have tied this game up at 53 apiece. So, Dean, if you're in that huddle right now, you're Coach Stabner, what are you telling your team?
I'm saying, man, great timing by the PA guy who's got For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica on right now. No, he's talking about, hey, let's keep in control right now, okay? We've ran a great offense. We got the hands. We finally knocked those shots down that we needed at the right place at the right time. But they got to be thinking about on this end of the floor as well, because Jefferson has answered each of the shots that the Raiders put up and back and forth. We got more answers and questions right now, which is what you want versus the other end. And so what they need to do is they need to make sure that they're keeping an eye on Payne, but they can't let, like I said, they got to force the ball back to outside, but you can't mediate back and forth. You got to either decide you're going to take Payne away and then that sacrifice the outside, or you got to guard the corner and let Payne do it. I think Segrist was trying to do both, and he basically was ineffective.
Sioux Falls Jefferson basketball coming out of that timeout. Swinson to Payne on the right wing. They'll go to Fields. He'll get around the screen. Looking inside, instead they go to Nutbrock. Nutbrock out to Swinson, back to Nutbrock on the right wing. They're trying to feed Payne in the low post. There's the backdoor pass, and trying for the dunk was quick.
No.
And it was blocked, but there was a whistle against, I believe Minka Holly.
Yeah, it was a great play. Holly doesn't believe it. I couldn't tell. The basket was in front. Either way, he played it well. Maybe he got part of his arm. Who knows? But it was played well. I thought Quick did a great job. Everybody's focused on Payne over here in the corner. Weak side cutter. They're playing man defense. He cuts back to the inside. He is so good. So much body control when he gets in and around the rim. He can knife right through kind of any defense. You got to keep him off of the rim as well. Quick is a 6'6" junior, makes the first free throw. The second free throw is good to give the Cavaliers a 2-point lead, 55-53. And we are going to get a full timeout for the Cavaliers. Yeah, and now they got to talk about Cavaliers first. They got to talk about what do we got to do on defense here. Obviously, it's a 3 to win. We're okay with the 2. Obviously, they want the win, but don't sacrifice the winning shot versus the game-tying shot. So they're going to want to defend the perimeter without fouling much better. They still want to guard the inside. They don't want to give an easy shot. They're still playing for the win, but they gotta work on how they're going to do that. They know who their three-point shooters are. It's going to be Holly and Segrist. Brooks is probably going to occupy something down low. Coach Staver has drawn up some great plays here in the last few minutes to get balls into the right hands of the right players. Now he's got to keep it again. Look for Segrist in a corner, Holly in a corner, or one of the two getting a down screen and popping back out to the top for a big shot. Again, the Raiders are in the same boat. Hey, we can still tie this here, so we don't need a 3 to win, but let's not take that horrible shot. Let's not think that we have to hit a 3 to win this game. If the 2 is there, let's settle for it. 36.1 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. 55-53. Sioux Falls Jefferson by 2. Here's Minka Holly for the Raiders. Works his way into the front court. Less than a second differential in the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Taylor Segrist, left side to Brooks. Brooks back to Segrist. He'll drive the right baseline in the low post. Puts up a tough shot. Wow.
Scores.
That was a tough shot. Again, just one-on-one. They weren't going to double him. He can drive.
Yeah, so they have a delay of game warning against the Raiders.
Right, the ball comes down, they knock it away, kind of negating a quick setup by the new offensive team.
16 seconds to play. 55-55 is your score. Sioux Falls Jefferson basketball. Here's Fields in the front court. You can hear the fans get into it.
Is it going to be Payne that's going to win it? No.
Here's Swinson from the right, or the baseline. The shot is no good. Szymanski the rebound, and a foul against Sioux Falls Jefferson.
Which, that's probably a smart foul. You don't want to give them a free look. They only had 2 seconds anyway, but you don't want to give them a free look if they can to work it down. Now they've got under 2 seconds now. The ball's out of bounds. They got to be able to inbound it. And Coach Staver is going to, interesting, he's going to take a timeout here. And what is he going to talk about?
So we have a full timeout.
I mean, he's obviously going to play for the win, but you only have 1.6 seconds, so you need a big throw. You got time for 1 or 2 quick dribbles and a shot, and it can be anywhere. Obviously you want the best, look you can. I think the Cavaliers are going to play back. They're going to guard the Raiders' front court. They don't care if they throw the ball in, but they're going to want them to pick it up and just not give them a good look. They want a shot from somewhere, anywhere outside of the paint and well outside of the paint.
So here come the Cavaliers back onto the court. The Raiders have 1.6 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. We're tied at 55. Going with both, Dalton, Szymanski, Minka Holly, Taylor Segrist, Kalen Brooks, and Jess Christensen on the floor for Jefferson.
Dalton's going to be the quarterback here.
Dalton gets the ball to Christensen. Christensen to Segrist. His shot at the buzzer, but I think you're right. I don't think it would have counted.
Yeah, they quickly waved it off.
So at the end of regulation, we are getting bonus basketball.
It was a great play this time. Christensen came up. You knew he wasn't going to shoot the ball, but then as soon as he got it, He took that dribble when he probably should have. He probably should have caught it and just caught Segrist as a cutter back there and got the ball right into his hand and give him a shot to make it.
So on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick, at the end of regulation, we are tied at 55 apiece between Rapid City Stevens and Sioux Falls Jefferson. We've got overtime coming your way as we bring you bonus basketball action right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City. We'll step aside for just 30 seconds, and we'll come back with overtime right here on Fox Sports Rapid City.
On Facebook.
When the world feels big, a small note can mean everything. Find mental health support at sdbehavioralhealth.gov.
Gas booth, sales, service, and recreation. As we bring you bonus basketball this afternoon, it is overtime in our boys game as Sioux Falls Jefferson and Rapid City Stevens tied at 55 apiece. The Raiders will go with both Dylan and Dalton Samonsky, Minka Holly, Caleb Brooks, and Daylor Segrist. And we are ready to start the overtime period. There's the tip. It's controlled by the Raiders, going from right to left. Tied at 55. Here's Caleb Brooks in the front court. Bounce pass to Segrist on the wing. They go back to Brooks, looking inside instead. Brooks hands the ball to Holly. Holly's going to shoot the three. That one is good for Minka Holly.
What a shot. The Cavaliers decided to go under the screen, giving him room, and you don't give him room, he's going to make you pay.
58-55, the Raiders by 3 with 3.5 minutes left in OT. Here's Payne, left side to Mayen, back to Payne. Now they go to Quick, right side to Fields. Damaris Fields the basketball, drives, had the ball knocked out of his hands by Holly.
And he's got quick hands, long arms, and he does it.
Samonsky in the front court. This is Dalton. Dalton to Brooks, now to Segrist. Raiders not in a hurry. They can chew up some of the clock right now. Here's Caleb Brooks, top of the key, drives to his left, backs his way in. Now he picks up his dribble, hands the ball to Samonsky, back to Holly for three. That one is short, no good. Samonsky saves it to Holly, and Holly puts up the shot, no good, but he heads to the free throw line.
You see just Holly right now just extended himself to the next level right now. Shooting, he didn't get that shot. Great hustle by Samonsky to get the rebound. Back up to Holly. He heads right into Mason Payne, but Mason Payne is like, I don't know what to do with this guy. And Holly, his body just contorts his body around him, creates the contact or gets the contact, and tries to get the shot in there, sacrificing his body for the team.
Mason Payne picks up his fourth personal. Minka Holly makes the first free throw, makes the second free throw. Has all the Raiders' points in this overtime period as the Raiders lead 60-55 on the State Farm scoreboard. Mason Payne, left side. They give the ball to Quick. He drives, and there's the finger roll there by Quick. I'm not quite sure why they went back to man-to-man. That zone defense was working really well. They have a lead, chew up the clock, force an outside shot. Here's Dalton Samonsky. Samonsky to Segrist. Segrist rolls around to that left wing, now back to the top of the key, gets around the screens. There's Dylan Samonsky. Samonsky backs his way in and lost the ball, but it was number 5. Going to be Mason Payne picking up number 5.
Yeah, he did a great move. Did Samonsky. He had Payne leaning the other way. Then a great step back and step through, and all Mason Payne could do was just swat at the ball, and Mason Payne sits down.
He will exit, finishes with 8 points this afternoon.
I think just knowing his level of play, him coming out this weekend, I think he's going to be really frustrated with himself. Didn't have much of an impact yesterday, had minimal impact today.
It's quiet here. The first free throw missed by Dylan Samonsky.
Like golf shots here, something like that.
He is 1 of 3 this afternoon from the charity stripe, is Dylan. Here's the second free throw attempt. Chance to put the Raiders up by 4, rather. He misses the second.
Oh,
Brooks
so
tried
close.
to chase it down. Wow, last touch they saved by the Cavaliers.
Yeah, we're a long ways away, but it kind of looked like Brooks was the one who knocked it. And the two officials looked at each other, and one said, I had a good view, one said, I didn't. And, okay, we're going to go this way.
So the Raiders will keep possession. Holly falls to the ground.
Yeah, frustrated. Stabner, Holly, great athlete, just couldn't control the ball that time, was able to get it back, but now Stabner has got to use one of his last 2 timeouts.
We have 2 minutes and 9 seconds remaining on the State Farm scoreboard, and it's Rapid City Stevens leading 60-57 over Sioux Falls Jefferson. We will take a timeout as well. We'll return in 30 seconds on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City, and also on GoRaidersLive.com.
Do you have a pest problem? Got bats, ants, termites? Family-owned and operated, Olson's Pest Technicians have had over 50 years' experience taking care of pest problems in places across South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa. Utilizing brilliant methods such as Centricon bait stations for termites and Vicane treatment for bed bugs, there's no pest too tough for Olson's Pest Technicians. If you have pest problems, call 800-KILL-BUGS.
Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail broadcast booth, sales, service, and recreation. I'm Jerome Wickersham along with Dean Gurr. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. It's a 3-point lead for Rapid City Stevens. They have the basketball coming out of that timeout here in overtime. Here's Minka Holly, the basketball. Out to Brooks, left side to Seth Paw. Backdoor pass to Holly. Holly in the low post. Being guarded by Quick. There's a scoop shot. That one is no good. It was kind of a tough shot, but Brooks fights for the rebound.
Yeah, I'm surprised he continued with it.
Brooks to Segrist. As the Raiders hope to chew up some more clock. They go to Szymanski. Szymanski out to Brooks. Now he'll drive. Brooks puts up the shot. That's no good. And it's Szymanski who gets the rebound to keep it alive. So some good offensive rebounding right now for the Raiders.
Right, yeah, and these are the things that they can use. Shots not falling at the moment, but just that extra effort.
This is Holly to Brooks. He'll give it to Segrist. We're down to 15 seconds on the shot clock. Now right corner. Driving is Segrist. A tough shot. The reverse no good. Paw battle for the rebound. We're going to get a whistle. That will be against Sioux Falls Jefferson.
That 3 offensive rebounds in that possession alone. That's how you compensate for struggling. You're struggling shooting. Every team's going to go through it. The Raiders maybe unusually more than they were hoping for throughout this whole entire season. But how do you compensate? You crash the boards hard, and they're just doing a great job. And right now, this kind of bewilderment, honestly, hands on hips of the Jefferson Cavaliers. Coach Reck over there is like, okay, what's going on here? How come we cannot get a defensive rebound?
Seth Paw makes both free throws, and that gives the Raiders a 5-point lead here in overtime, 62-57. We have 1 minute left in the ball game. Here's Nutrock, the basketball. He drives, lost the ball.
He got tipped. He tried to grab it and scored it right out of his hands.
So the Raiders get it back with 52 seconds remaining. Caleb Brooks will trigger it in. Gives the ball to Paw. Paw in a hurry, gets into the front court. The ball is loose. Quick picks it up.
Fields quick hands.
Now Quick he lost it, but then it goes off the fingertips of Caleb Brooks. So Colby Nutrock will trigger it in. Right there at the end of the Cavalier bench. He'll get the ball to Swinson at midcourt. Swinson crossover dribble left side. Here's Quick for 3, and it's good for Quick.
Coach Reck's going to take a timeout here, but how about Quick? Wow, back in the corner, ice in his veins. He had Caleb Brooks right in his face, and he's able to convert it. So, like we said, we had a long way to go. That was 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. We still have a long way to go.
So for Quick, he didn't start the game, only had 4 first-half points, but has 12 second-half points, so 16 overall for Quick. But his shots have been huge in the fourth quarter and here in overtime.
Yeah, they 100% were. You didn't have a major impact yesterday. We talked about Damaris Fields and what he didn't do yesterday against the Cobblers, probably one of the biggest reasons why they lost that game. But Quick was also kind of part of that, what he could do. Obviously, the Mason Payne factor was a major contributor today. Quick stepping up here. Fields, amazing early on. We haven't heard too much of him, except for that steal there a minute ago. Offensively, he hasn't done nearly as much.
At 13 first-half points, only 4 in the second half.
Well, plus Minka Hawley's been guarding him right now, and he's just an amazing athlete as far as playing defense as well.
Absolutely. It'll be Raider basketball coming out of that timeout. 37.6 seconds to play. Here's Minka Hawley back to Brooks. Brooks is going to drive on Nutbrock. Nutbrock into the front court, gets fouled by Kawhi Mayen. They're going to foul early. Interesting. It's only a 2-point game. Obviously, they don't want the game to get out of hand, but it's only a 2-point game. You try to make a steal or something, and you don't want to let that clock run down to 10 seconds or anything because you want to give yourself an opportunity. But 30 seconds, left to go, and you put intense pressure on them and force them to make a turnover, which they are susceptible to doing. It's kind of interesting that they decided to foul so quickly here. Brooks misses the first. He misses the second.
Guess who keeps it alive? And now another foul and another offensive rebound. That has been the difference in Minka Hawley early on, the offensive rebounds later on in this overtime period. The Raiders playing like the team that we thought they were, and the team that we saw that first game against Mitchell.
6'2" senior Dalton Samonsky at the free throw line, and he misses his first. So the Raiders as a team, they have missed 3 straight free throws.
And I'll tell you what, we talked about early on in that especially in the Spearfish game. They need to be able to close out games, hitting those free throws as part of that.
It's a 3-point Raider lead, 63-60. There's Fields for 3, and he
gets it. Hey, we just talked about him just a second ago. Here he is.
63-63. The Raiders get in
no
the front
timeout for Stabner. He had to use it earlier when Minka Hawley fumbled the ball.
Here's Segrist down to 10 seconds now. Segrist with the basketball, tied at 63. Wants to drive. He spins. He loses the ball. He steps on the line. He lost the ball as he tried to spin, and then he steps on the line, so it'll be Jefferson basketball.
Yeah, he was trying to drive back down again. That's not really his game. He tried to back down the booty ball, as they call it, a Kawhi Mayen, to try to get an opportunity there. Here's Mayen at the buzzer. The shot is no good, and we are going into double OT.
Wow.
Hey, we're getting our money's worth today, folks.
You are getting bonus basketball this afternoon. So on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents, Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick, at the end of the first overtime, we're tied at 63. We're going into double overtime when we come back in 1 minute on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
As a rancher, this is what matters. This is beyond X's and O's. This is the difference mutual respect makes. This is what character looks like. This is what defines us in South Dakota. This is sportsmanship. School sports, it's not the outcome that matters most, but the way the games are played. This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Welcome back to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail broadcast booth. Sales, Service, and Recreation. The tip was controlled by Sioux Falls Jefferson, but their shot is no good. So the Raiders will have the ball. We're tied at 63 apiece as we head into double overtime. 20 seconds gone by. Here's Seth Paw into the front court. Crossover dribble. Back to his left. Now he gives the ball to Segrist. Segrist out to Brooks. Brooks around the screen. Gets to that wing. Gives the ball to Holly. Holly back to his left. Now to his right. In the paint. Drives. The shot is up. No good. Brooks gets the ball. Puts up the shot. No good. But he is fouled.
Yeah, you see, obviously, the trust that Coach Reck has on Quick. He's obviously the better matchup defender, at least for Minka Holly here, as he's guarding him. Swenson is on Segrist. So you got Seth Paw and Fields on him. So Fields is a great defender as well. Seth Paw's got to get the ball out of his hands, but Holly driving in over the long arms and couldn't convert, but there's Brooks dashing in. After missing 3 straight free throws, Caleb Brooks hits that free throw. At the other end, Fields, his shot is no good. A scramble for the loose ball. Swenson gets it. He puts it up. That one is no good. Fields the offensive rebound. Pump fakes, and he is fouled by Segrist. Yeah, not a horrible... The only thing is Segrist, the ball was there, and instead of getting over and trying to defend it, he just tried to swat at it while Fields was down there. Make him shoot the ball over the top. You get over there, get your hands, get in front of him. He just kind of was there and just kind of reached for it.
That's number 3 on Segrist. Fields misses the free throw. 64-63. Rapid City Stevens by 1. Here's Damaris Fields, a chance for the tie. You're in double overtime. That one is good. 64-64 with 3 minutes to play in the ball game. Here in double OT. Szymanski gives the ball to Holly. He drives, splits the defenders, and we're going to get a whistle against Sioux Falls Jefferson.
Going to put him on the free throw line again. Again, the rule, I don't hear me say this all the time, head and shoulders, you get your head and shoulders past the defender, the contact is on the defense, and he wasn't just standing there. Clearly, he was trying to defend Holly, but Holly just does a good job. He gets that lean, and that's just enough of a lean to get by the defender. Even though Quick Cook's right there, he's ready to swat the ball, but Holly's keeping the ball low as he's kind of driving into the lane.
Holly misses the first free throw. That's his first miss this afternoon. He's 2 for 3 from the charity stripe. Here's the second free throw. That one is no good, but Szymanski, an offensive rebound.
There's a hard shot in there, and Fields steps into the passing lane and steals it.
Fields in the front court, gives the ball to Mahan, but Holly gets the block.
And, we didn't get a foul there. It looked like Nutbrock absolutely manhandled Szymanski. He got away with it, and the Raiders have the ball.
And Tim Reck is just beside himself on the sidelines. He is not happy.
Well, clearly his player, I don't know what he's mad about, but his player absolutely mugged Szymanski.
Paw gives the ball to Segrist on the right elbow. Tied at 64. Paw back to Segrist. Segrist is going to get the layup as he takes it in for 2.
Great. It looked like the play was dead, but he stepped through it and held his body.
Fields into the left corner. Mahan for 3. That one is no good. A battle for the rebound, and they are going to get Nutbrock with the push.
Yeah. He was on the outside. Segrist was on the inside. That is a point. These are great athletes anyway.
It's on Segrist. They are calling number 4 on Daylor Segrist.
Okay.
I thought at first it was going to be on Jefferson.
That's kind of what I thought, but maybe Segrist cleared it.
Swings into Quick. Quick in the lane. Lost the ball, but a whistle against the Raiders. Could this be on Segrist?
That's probably going to be number 5 on Segrist. It is. And Quick just lost the ball. Of course, the ball's on the ground. Everybody wants to go after it. Quick's trying to get after it. Segrist, again, is on the outside just trying to reach in there, trying to get it. You're playing hard. You keep those dumb fouls, not that one was, but the earlier dumb fouls, so you can have fouls like that.
Daylor Segrist exits with 19 points at 8 yesterday in the loss to the Rough Riders. Raiders up 66-64. Here's Quick. Pull-up baseline jumper is no good. Holly the rebound for the Raiders. 90 seconds to play. The Raiders with a 2-point lead. Here in double OT. Samonsky to Holly. Now left side they go to Brooks as the Raiders, they're not in any hurry. Brooks drives. There's the shot. That one no good for Caleb Brooks. Swinson back the other way for the Cavaliers. Into the right corner. Here's Nutbrock. Drives on Samonsky. Gets it out to Fields. Had nowhere to go with the basketball, so he gets it to Fields. Fields drives. There's Mahan, and the shot blocked by Holly. Yeah. But we're going to get a whistle against the Raiders.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of body there by Holly. He doesn't like the call, and he probably got a lot of the ball, but he also got a lot of the body, too.
Number 3 on Minka Holly at the free throw line. Kawhi Mahan. He's 6-foot junior. Makes the free throw to bring the Cavaliers to within 1. Dylan Samonsky comes back into the ball game. He replaces Jess Christensen.
Yeah, you need some big rebounds here. Samonsky's had a monster game.
He has. And this game is tied after the 2 free throws by Kawhi Mahan. 66-66 with 1 minute remaining. Caleb Brooks in the front court. We're in double overtime here at Carroll Higher Gymnasium. Man-to-man defense by the Cavaliers. They give the ball to Holly. Holly around the screen, spins back to his left, puts up the shot. That one is no good. It goes out of bounds, and it stays Raider basketball.
It looks like he got a push. I think the Cavaliers got away with Holly went over, and Quick went under the screen. I figured Holly was going to stop and pop right there. Instead, he went for the drive.
Samonsky gets the ball into his brother, Dylan Samonsky. And Coach Dave there wants a timeout.
He's going to use his timeout. He's got about 5.5 seconds difference on the play clock versus the game clock versus the shot clock here. So
the Raiders could chew up a lot of time.
A whole lot of it.
It is a full timeout, so we will pause as well. Again, on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick. 36.6 seconds to play. We are tied at 66 apiece between the Raiders and the Cavaliers in double overtime. We will pause for 30 seconds right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
At Dakota Discount RV, our mission is to make your RV experience fun and easy by providing quality recreational vehicles, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. We're proud to offer the finest names in RVs. Our big inventory of fifth wheels, travel trailers, and toy haulers allow us to save customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Come see us at either of our 2 locations, 3330 East Mall Drive, Rapid City, or 11200 JB Road, exit 48, Somerset.
Out here.
And we want to welcome you back to the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail broadcast booth. Sales, service, and recreation. Again, you're getting bonus basketball this afternoon here in our boys game as we're in double overtime with 36 seconds remaining, and we're tied at 66 apiece. It is Raider basketball coming out of that timeout. Dalton Samonsky will trigger it in from the right baseline. Samonsky into Dylan, and Dylan banks it in for 2.
What a great play. He went out top and came back down low. The Cavaliers lost him.
68-66, the Raiders by 2. 25 seconds now. Fields being guarded by Holly. They go to Quick. Quick wants to drive, spins back to his left, puts up the shot, and he puts it in for 2.
You know he's got it. He's got the long, lanky moves. He's hard to guard.
Raiders are out of timeouts. It's down to 10 seconds now. They give it to Brooks. 7 seconds. Brooks drives to his left. Gives the ball to Holly. Holly puts up the 3. That one just off the side of the iron. No good. And we are going, I believe, to triple overtime.
Took a second there. It was a decent look by Fields, but how about there? You wanted Holly. You just kind of feel, oh, that's it. But no, here we are.
We are not done yet.
Wow, triple overtime.
I can't recall a game that we've had going to triple overtime in quite some time.
We've had some overtime of, I think, 1 or 2 double overtimes, but I don't know if we've had a triple or not.
So we will take a break as well. We need a quick break. So on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agents Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick, we're heading to triple overtime, tied at 68 apiece between Rapid City Stevens and Sioux Falls Jefferson in boys basketball action. We're back in 30 seconds right here on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
To keep growing, you have to keep changing. CHS and the farmers and ranchers we serve know all about change, because together we've changed agriculture. That's why we're the largest farmer-owned cooperative in the country. So farmers own the system they count on, with advantages at every step. From innovative tools that help crops grow, to grain processing expertise, to energy solutions, we create connections to empower agriculture. Learn more at chsinc.com.
Would you buy your...
And welcome back to Carroll Hire Gymnasium to the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Broadcast booth. Sales, service, and recreation. We get set to start overtime number 3. Both teams scored 5 points in the second overtime. So tied at 68 apiece. Both teams lost some players now due to fouls.
You're going to say Payne's gone and Seagrass has gone. 2 amazing players.
Here's Brooks, gets position and puts it in for 2.
Kawhi likes to jump, and so he caught him jumping, spun around on him, and did the up and under play.
9 points for Caleb Brooks. 2-point Raider lead in triple overtime, 70-68. Here's Damaris Fields, right side. They go to Mayen. Mayen from the elbow, and he knocks it down.
Like I said, he likes to jump, but he can also shoot.
70, tied at 70 apiece. 3:13 to go. Seth Codd drives, bounce pass to Szymanski. Szymanski out to Dalton. Dalton Szymanski has the ball to Holly in the corner. Minka Holly. Down low, Dylan Szymanski spins to his right. Fadeaway jumper is good. What a game for Dylan Szymanski.
The emotion on his face right now is amazing. The kiss off the glass.
He's got 15 points in the ball game. From the elbow, that shot is good for Quick.
Quick answers right away. I was going to say quickly, but too many puns.
72 apiece is the ball game with 2.5 minutes to play. A hard-fought basketball game this afternoon. It's dribbles the ball off his foot.
Right, and that unforced error right there. See Minka Holly looking at him. Hey, dude, you're right. Hey, just keep it together. It's good. It happens. We got you here. The Raiders right now just playing out of their shoes. Cavaliers playing out of their shoes. We have no shoes on the court anymore.
You hate to see a team lose in this type of a game where you're in triple overtime.
Absolutely, you do not want to lose there.
Here's Quick in the low post, backs his way in on Brooks, puts up the shot. It is bounces around the rim, no good.
Defense. Brooks just absolutely stonewalled him.
Here's Minka Holly in the front court, spins to his left. Holly in the paint. And we'll get a whistle. This will be on Quick.
Yeah, and Holly, he just does a great job. He gives a little tap and says, dude, nice defense, man. Because he was there, and it was difficult for Holly. Holly's going to go shoot for 2. But speaking of Quick, Dalton Szymanski, as he started that third overtime, walked over to Quick, and he was the one who got that game tying for the last quarter over here. And he was the one, Dalton was guarding Quick, and he walked out there and kind of tapped him and said, dude, man, you are a tough player to guard.
Minka Holly has missed 3 straight free throws. He does make that one, though. That gives the Raiders a 1-point lead, 73-72. Just under 2 minutes to play in this contest. Here in triple OT, Swinson drives, kicks it outside. There's Nutroff for 3, and he hits it. It's now a 2-point Cavalier lead.
So plenty of time here.
Driving and putting the shot up is Szymanski. It is no good, but Dylan Szymanski, actually not Dylan, it's Dalton that's heading to the free throw line.
And Swenson, is that going to be number 5 on Swenson? The look he had on him, he's like, doggone it. But Szymanski, he got by him. He used the contact, went up. The ball didn't come anywhere near even the backboard.
So number 5 on Ethan Swinson as he takes the seat. Dalton Szymanski with the free throw. He's made 2 straight. He's 2 for 3 this afternoon. Second free throw attempt, a chance to tie. And he does just that. 75-75 with 95 seconds to play in triple OT. Here's May in the basketball, out to Nutbrock. They go back to Fields on the near side. Over to Corner. Corner in the paint, puts up the shot and puts it in for 2. Just the second basket this afternoon.
Great drive by Corner. Dylan Szymanski was out there guarding him. He was a little too close. He got that step and got by him.
77-75. We're going to get it. I thought it was going to. Jefferson is taking a timeout. I think. How does that work?
So it was an inadvertent whistle. So I think they hear something. They think you said timeout, so he stops the clock. I kind of thought it was going to be a foul because Quick was grabbing him, and he looks at him. He's like, "No, I didn't call a timeout." So then he looks over at Rec and said, "You want a timeout?" He's like, "Yeah, I'll take it." So inadvertent whistle that turns into a timeout.
So it is a full timeout for the Sioux Falls Jefferson Cavaliers. 1:14 to go on the State Farm scoreboard, and the Cavaliers leading 77-75.
Especially when they say 5 out. I don't know that he was calling that play, but that's a common
one.
You'll hear 5 out, and especially in a heated game, energy level. It's not an amazing crowd by any means. Low attendance on a Saturday afternoon, kind of normal, but if you aren't here, you're missing a golden game right now.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you're so focused on the game, you hear that, and so you call it.
The Raiders trying to even their record at 500. They're 3-4 coming into this contest, while Sioux Falls Jefferson, they've lost 4 in a row. They're 2-4 on the season.
Yeah, and they don't want to drive 360 miles back the other way, having went 0-2 coming to Rapid City. So
Brooks gets the ball into Seth Paw. Paw gives the ball to Holly. Now left side to Brooks. Brooks to Holly. Holly being guarded by Quick. Holly puts up the 3. That one off the side of the iron. No good. It goes out of bounds.
Yep.
Last touch by Fields.
Yeah, Fields was right there. Paw was right there as well, but Fields just couldn't handle it. Fresh shot clock here for the Raiders.
Raiders trail by 2, 77-75. Dalton Szymanski will trigger it in. He hits the ball into Holly. Holly thought about a 3. Instead, trying to work it down low to Dillon, and it's going to be stolen.
Yeah, but great read that time by the Cavaliers.
Here's Damaris Fields at midcourt. Now they go to Corner. Corner hands it off to Quick. Quick wants to drive. Lost the ball. Picked up by Fields. Down to 12 seconds on the shot clock. Here they go to Nutbrock. Back to Fields at midcourt. 5 seconds. Fields pulls up, shoots the 3, and it's no good. A battle for the rebound, and Nutbrock is fouled as he gets the offensive board.
Yeah, the Raiders haven't been in the situation. They've always been the one that's been ahead through all these overtimes. In general, they've kind of been, especially when the quarter's closing out, they've been the one ahead. So they've been guarding with a lead. Now they're guarding from behind at the moment as things close out. Crusoe free throws right now for Nutbrock.
And Nutbrock hits the free throw. Has 4 points in this triple overtime period.
And Stabner's finally going to call his timeout here. He's going to talk about it. You got a lot of things to talk about, scenarios, if you're Stabner right now. If he makes it, you need 4 points. Obviously, so you got to get down the court. You got to be able to score quickly. You need 2 baskets so you can, and they can be 2s. So it might be score quickly, foul, stick them back on the line, and see if you can kind of play that game a little bit. I can't think of any other possibility because you got to be able to get the ball back, quickly without chewing any time up. And if he makes it, if he doesn't, you got an opportunity. You can play for that last-second shot for the win. A 2 does you no good. Obviously, the Cavaliers are thinking the exact opposite. What happens if they make it? What happens if they don't? Is your scenarios. You got to be paying attention. Obviously, Stabner
does not have another timeout. Coach Rex does, so that's 2 big timeouts for him here in this situation. If the ball comes in and they get a steal, they can set something up. And so we have Colby Nutbrock at the free throw line to attempt his second to give the Cavaliers a 4-point lead. I don't know if that wasn't like icing the free throw shooter either. Nutbrock makes both free throws, has 4 points. Now they need a 5-point. Quick basket right here. And down by 4. Can't wait. Seconds. Here's Holly in the left corner. Taking Holly. Puts up the 3, and it's good for Holly. They need to foul quickly. Davis saying foul. Great, good heads-up play. Good heads-up play by Holly. And you see the coach in the face of the official saying, hey, and they can easily get a post-game technical right here. Steve Anderson in the face of the official saying, hey, he took forever to pick up the ball. But they have a legitimate shot at picking up the ball. They don't have to pick it up right away. They have 5 seconds to get to they don't have 5 seconds even to get the ball. They have to be given an appropriate amount of time to pick up the ball, and then they have 5 seconds to throw it in. And Steve Anderson said he didn't pick it up quick enough. There's no rule that says he has to right away. He can't stall, but he literally walked over there, picked up the ball. No one said he had to run. It's a tough way to lose, tough loss, but heartbreaking loss. A loss in triple overtime for the Rapid City Stevens Raiders boys teams this afternoon. Again, on the State Farm scoreboard, insured by agent Scott Carlson and Matt McCormick, the final score in triple overtime, Sioux Falls Jefferson 79, Rapid City Stevens 78. That is your final. We've got a lot to talk about. We will step aside for 1 minute. The Pioneer Bank and Trust postgame show coming up when we come back in 1 minute on 106.7 FM, 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
From a cartoon character?
What's up, Doc?
Cartoons are good for a laugh, but when you're in an accident or you need your home covered and need help, it's no laughing matter. That's why you need a real person, like Lance at Van Zee Insurance Associates. It's not just simple insurance either. Lance has you covered with home, life, auto, and business. Van Zee Insurance is your place to call. Stop by today or give Lance a call at 605-393-2399.
Melissa Christensen with Engel & Volkers is a trusted real estate advisor in the Black Hills. She brings precision, dedication, and clear communication to every transaction. Melissa focuses on service, not sales, always putting her clients first. She's also passionate about supporting local youth activities, helping to strengthen communities and build a brighter future for our kids. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, Melissa is here to guide you every step of the way. Stop in or call Melissa Christensen with Engel & Volkers today.
Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center.
And welcome back to Carroll Higher Gymnasium as the crowd slowly makes their way out on this Saturday afternoon. We want to welcome you back to the Pioneer Bank and Trust postgame show. Pioneer Bank and Trust is proud to support our local teams, and they're your trusted partner for all of your banking needs. Pioneer Bank and Trust is local. Visit pioneerbankandtrust.com. As we wrap things up on this Saturday afternoon on Fox Sports Rapid City, what an afternoon of basketball. It's been quite some time. They've had overtime games, but I don't recall a triple overtime game. But unfortunately for Rapid City Stevens, they come up short this afternoon as Sioux Falls Jefferson gets the win in triple overtime, 79-78. With that win, the Cavaliers improved to 3-4 on the year. For Rapid City Stevens, they now drop, they get swept this weekend, and they fall to 3-5 on the season. But, Dean, both of these teams, they played their hearts out. When you have a triple overtime game, you know both teams, they're playing as hard as they can out there. And, again, for the Raiders, it's a heartbreaking loss.
Yeah, it definitely was, and it wasn't like it was a sloppy triple overtime game or, it was two teams executing plays, really well, working their hearts out, just doing all those things right, playing for the win, playing together as a team, both clubs, even playing smart. You think you think maybe as the game progresses on, these are still teenage boys playing, and you get so excited and your hearts are racing. You're trying to play basketball. You're trying to think of everything. We talked about it in the girls' game, how, you know where you're supposed to be, but you're so overcome with playing and everything and where you're supposed to be and so much to think about. Basketball is such a cerebral type game that you kind of forget things or whatever. Keeping their heads. That play by the Jefferson Cavaliers at the end, we talked about. So 13 seconds left. We said you need 2 scores. You got to get scores quickly. One reason why you can't take so long to get a shot off, and hats off to the Cavaliers, they did a great job of forcing the Raiders to take a long time to get that shot off, is once you make that basket, the other team gets a chance to inbound it. Nobody says that they have to immediately grab the ball and inbound it and go. They, first of all, have to have an opportunity to get it, and they did, and he walked over to get it. He didn't pick it up right away, but by the time he picked it up, if there's 5 seconds left, he can just hang on to it. That is a heads-up play. That's good coaching from your players. That's smart thinking. So just the whole cerebral aspect of how things went. Players fouled out. You had to change the way you play basketball a little bit. For the Raiders, now you've got one less scorer on the court, and in general, they were in control of those first 2 overtimes, but in that triple overtime, everything is so crucial, and they miss an opportunity to stay with the Cavaliers on that, and the Cavaliers kind of took control because it was, we're ahead, you catch up, we're ahead, you catch up. It was the Raiders the first 2 quarters, it was the Cavaliers the last 2 quarters, and you play different basketball when you play that way. And unfortunately, we've talked about the Raiders' complete game, getting it together. They played an absolutely phenomenal game. Unfortunately, the woes continue for them, not being able to close out games when you need to. 2 of them in those situations. We saw the Spearfish game, and now this game where they had a chance at the end to. They were defending, unfortunately, but they had a chance to do something, and they just couldn't get it done when they needed to. And that's not the story of the season for the Raiders by any means. Tonight is the team that Coach Stabner will take all season long. We've seen it like twice this year. The games that we've done, we've seen it maybe twice. We've seen some games where they really didn't play. They played well against the Cavaliers. I'm not going to take anything away from that one. But tonight they were just next level. They played as a team. Their heart and soul was all played out, and unfortunately they came away with that loss. And like Stabner said in that parking lot, in the central parking lot, we are 1 or 2 shots away from being an undefeated team, and they're back again. Maybe not yesterday's game. Unfortunately, they shot really poorly yesterday, and so maybe they're 6-1 maybe. He said we're 1 or 2 shots away from being that team, but right now we're where we are, and that's just, it hurts for them.
After the triple overtime loss this afternoon, the Raiders dropped to 3-5 as they lose to Sioux Falls Jefferson 79-78. We've got some storylines to talk about. Let's get into our box score. It's being brought to you by The Box. The Box is the Midwest's most innovative event center, featuring the best courts and space to host multiple games. The Box is the premier youth sports venue, but sports aren't the only thing they can host. The Box can cater and host any of your meetings, conventions, or receptions. To plan your next event, visit thebox.live. And looking at the scoring, first for Sioux Falls Jefferson, they had 4 players in double figures, led by Damaris Fields with 21, 20 for Quick. We had 13 for Kawhi Mahan, 10 for Colby Nutbrock, and nothing more important than those free throws he hit late in the ball game as well. He had 5 points in the triple overtime period, but 10 for Colby Nutbrock. We had 8 for Mason Payne, and then 4 points for Bo Corner. For the Rapid City Stevens Raiders, they had 3 players in double figures, led by Minka Hawley with 24 points, 19 for Daylor Segrist, connected on 5 3-pointers in the ball game, 15 for Dylan Szymanski, and that's the one I really wanted to point out, perhaps the best game we've seen for Dylan Szymanski this season.
Yeah, 100%. He stepped up big time. They needed another player, especially an inside player that can play that post well. With Mason Payne there, it wasn't going to be an easy night, but he put that role on his shoulders, and really that was kind of the difference that really kept them in the game when they needed to be in the game, and then kept them all the way through those 3 overtimes. If it hadn't been the play for Szymanski tonight, it would have been no overtimes today, and the Raiders would have, walked away with maybe, a 7 to 10 point loss.
And they say 15 points and 4 rebounds, but I think he had a lot more than four rebounds.
Feels like it.
It feels like it, yes. Also scoring after Dylan Szymanski with 15, we had 9 for Caleb Brooks. Almost a double-double for Caleb Brooks. I believe he had 9 points and 11 rebounds. 7 for Dalton Szymanski and 4 for Seth Paugh. Again, the Raiders shot the ball well in this ball game as they connected on 51% of their field goals, 44% from three-point range. And for Sioux Falls Jefferson, they shot 43%, but they also shot 44% from three-point range. Rebounding, the edge, of course, belonged to the Raiders, is how many second-chance opportunities they had. They had 38 rebounds, 10 on the offensive glass, but also Sioux Falls Jefferson had 31 and 12 on the offensive glass.
Yeah, a lot of the numbers also very similar when you're looking at up and down that you think you have. That's a triple overtime game. Very similar numbers, players, and yet every one of those so instrumental. It's they say football is a game of inches. Basketball is kind of the same way. You just one here, one there. How about Seth Paugh dribbling the ball off of his foot in that third overtime?
How big was that?
It went from, like we said, the Raiders were playing either even or ahead and making the Cavaliers stay up with them, to now all of a sudden now they're playing from behind. And it's a different game. And not to give Seth Paugh, he played well tonight, and that just happens to be the one that I think of when it happens kind of at those big crucial times. They only had, if you think of it, they only had 14 turnovers. In a triple overtime game, that is almost 2 full games. That's 3 extra quarters, so that's almost 2 full games, and they only had 14 turnovers. I think that's a great number for the Raiders, but just every one of them so crucial, how pivotal one way or another it goes.
Absolutely. So again, in triple overtime, Rapid City Stevens loses to Sioux Falls Jefferson 79-78. Coming up next, we have our Highmark highlight of the game. It's an extended version. It's brought to you by Highmark Credit Union. Highmark offers Spirit debit cards featuring our local high school mascots on the front. And every time you use the card, Highmark makes a donation back to that school. So show your school spirit today and open an account at Highmark. Visit highmarkfcu.com. This is our Highmark highlights of the game. Segrist against Fields, gets the ball to Szymanski. Now they go to Brooks, looking for that backdoor pass. Instead, Holly from the left corner. The 3 is good.
Big splash. Great play design. Everyone collapses. They forget about Holly, who sneaks over into the weak side corner and cashes it in.
Tied at 50 with 1:50 to go in this contest. 65 seconds to play. It's 53-50. Here's Segrist, a 3 from the corner, and he gets the three.
He's been lightning tonight when they need it for a big 3. Comes up with it. Coach Stadner said, I love what's going on right now. We need to answer.
5 3-pointers in this ball game for Daylor Segrist. Here's Caleb Brooks in the front court. Bounce pass to Segrist on the wing. They go back to Brooks, looking inside instead. Brooks hands the ball to Holly. Holly's going to shoot the 3. That one is good for Mika Holly.
What a shot. The Cavaliers decided to go under the screen, giving him room, and you don't give him room, he's going to make you pay.
It is Raider basketball. Coming out of that timeout, Dalton Szymanski will trigger it in from the right baseline. Szymanski into Dylan, and Dylan banks it in for 2.
What a great play. He went out top and came back down low. The Cavaliers lost him.
68-66, the Raiders by 2. And again, that's an extended version tonight of our Highmark highlights of the game, brought to you by Highmark Credit Union. Real quickly, before we let you go, a couple of things. First, our player of the game, Dean.
We've kind of already talked about it a little bit. I wanted to give it to Segrist. He did a great job tonight, stepped up exactly what we needed, exactly what the Raiders needed out of him. He stepped up, great play, another big reason why they ended up pushing this game all the way to triple overtime. But you have to give it to Dylan Szymanski. 15 points, 4 rebounds. Felt like he had a whole lot. Felt like he had a double-double for Dylan tonight, but just stepped up. It was that X factor that they needed to step up, and he did it.
So he is our player of the game, and that is Dylan Szymanski tonight here on Fox Sports Rapid City. So the Raiders' next game, they got a week off. They have some time to relax, to regroup here after a hard-fought weekend. They will have Sturgis next Saturday, and we'll have that game for you right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. Our next broadcast is going to be Tuesday night, January 14th. Looking forward to a big matchup, the rival between Rapid City Christian taking on St. Thomas More. That game at South Dakota Mines, 6:30 for the girls' game, 8 o'clock for the boys' game. Looking forward to our pregame show at about 6:15 next Tuesday night. Can't wait for the big matchup.
Yeah, a venue not big enough to be held at just a high school, so they moved it to School of Mines and King Center there. Yeah, it's going to be a tremendous game. Obviously, the Cavaliers playing really well this year. The Comets have most of their team back last year from that amazing state tournament run that they had to finish third, fourth. I don't remember. I think it was fourth in the state tournament last year. Tons of talent, both schools with tons of talent. This is going to be a showdown for the ages. Tommy Moore, I think, received votes, but I think they're probably a top 5 team, and the Comets are also a top 5 team, so this is going to be a big, big matchup.
And that is a boys-girls doubleheader that night, so looking forward to both contests.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I didn't mean to talk about just the boys' game. It's the girls' game as well. With the Comets, they've lost a ton of talent. We talked tonight. We saw Hayden Thornton. 3 players are now starters for the Central Cobblers that came from the Comets. One of them went to, I believe, Hill City. So they lost that. So you think, we lost all this talent. Are we going to be as good? And still, they're still very competitive in the teams that they play. They've struggled in some games, but still have plenty of talent out there. And between them and the always getting better Tommy Moore Cavaliers, the Lady Cavaliers, they got some players coming back playing much better.